Yeah, hello. How you doing? Happy Sunday. I'm here. You guys, Nima Kante won. Nima Kante. We're gonna play some of my Nima song. We're gonna play some music here. We'll play some Nimadian song. Let me play some Nima Kante song. Happy Sunday, and then we'll get started. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear nothing. When champions are in the room. Happy Sunday, and then we'll get started. Okay, you guys, I'm here. Let's see if we're live online. Do 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 do. Need my content, wonder can. Need my content. Okay, you guys, I'm here. Uh oh, gotta lower the volume. Do, do. Y'all listen. I need to play you some. So you know what? Because Liberia had a counter meet and Nima Kante won today, y'all. You know, I rep, I rep Basa and Nima. So let's go. Let's play some Nimadian music. Fresh auto insurance savings. Yeah, hold on. We can serve up an offer that's I have zero copyright to this song. Yeah. It's a beauty sunny vibe. Hi guys. I don't know. Today I'm feeling the vibe. I'm feeling the vibe. Feeling the vibe, y'all. Happy New Year, you guys. How is those plan and things going? How's it going? How's your resolution? How's the plan going? We're in day 18, the 18th day of January. How are you holding up? So tonight I want us to go back. Let's recap. We're going to recap from yesterday what we said, what we talked about. Who was here? Who was here? What did we talk about? We talk about, you know, a parent enabling their child, or are you raising them? And we had a really, really good conversation last night. I hope everybody can be on and we can get this party started. But first, I want us to recap on what it is we were discussing yesterday. And sorry, guys. So first, I want to welcome you guys back to Let's Talk with Miss B. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome. There's a lot in store. You guys, my shirt keep pulling and I gotta put this stuff up. It's really trying to give y'all a show, not that kind of show. Show, okay? But anyways, I want to just say welcome to all of our new friends. If I know we lost some friends along the way, but that's okay. You cannot be a cup of tea for everyone. Everything's not for everyone. That's what makes life beautiful. So tonight we're talking about helping a child, or are you just simply enabling? And last night through that conversation, we learned that this mother had done it wrong because we listened to our video, which I'm going to play again for us to listen to it. The video is a little bit long, but I really want us to listen to it because we're closing this topic in, and I want us all to grasp the concept of that. And first, I want to welcome you to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. I am your host, aka Miss Fee Pensy. You know, I rep Nima County. I rep Grand Bassa County. You guys, I am the bloodline of two beautiful counties in the western side of Africa, Monrovia, Liberia, and my native country is Nimbakante. You guys, I don't really say too much on here, but very soon, there's a lot cooking up. I have a lot cooking up. I'm cooking a lot for you guys. And very soon, we're all going to dine and have at it. Okay. But, anyways, I don't like to talk too much about things that I'm working on or things that I'm doing on here, but there's a lot in store. And very soon, you guys will be seeing me a whole lot. Very soon, very soon. But again, let's go to our opening. If you're just joining us tonight, you need to go back and watch yesterday segment, and you will grasp everything. Welcome to the show, Jimmy. How are you?
Fine, see how you doing?
Good. You can hear me good? Because it kept
Yes.
kicking me out. Okay, cool. I'm just doing an opening. So if you missed yesterday conversation, well, too bad. Too bad. Yesterday we pointed out so many things about this topic. Today we'll be closing it in. We're not going to stay long here. I just want all of us to, in part one, we talk about, how this parent helped her 35-year-old son. And through that video, we learned so much that one, she did it all wrong. Sorry, but not sorry, but she did it all wrong and she needed to correct her mistakes. And we also, pointed out a lot of scripture. Yesterday we went through, if I'm not mistaken, what was it? Was it Ephesians
Ephesians
6
22
verse
verse 6.
22 verse 6? Yes, correct. Thank you. So we pointed out where the Bible God explicitly told us basically the formula of having uh, an adult in a world that is actually a representation of what it is you want them to be by shipping them. It's kind of like when you're building a house, you guys. We kind of went through this process a little bit. When you're building a house, there's so much that's needed. Like you need those really good steel, especially if the land how it's setting. Like I've learned so much the past years about just building and setting up a foundation and things that you need. So it's kind of like children. I it's you want this child to represent who you are and what you stand for. They're literally the image of you. So the Bible told us how to go about it, and if you are not, shame on you. Shame on you. Follow it. So tonight, we're asking some very tough questions that I want us to really jump into. Is helping, if you're helping your child, like I watched another video where this lady buys for kids all these new brand and things like that. Like you're setting this child up the expectation from life and what it is they want and need and their validation. Like how do you help your child to become quote unquote this adult in society that is an image of you? But anyways, we're going to ask three different questions and then we'll close it out on this topic. So welcome to the show. Welcome, Jimmy. Let's dive right into it. Happy Sunday. How was church? What did you do for somebody this week? What did somebody do for you this week? Something amazing. You're mute. You're mute.
Yeah, thank you for the question, but I don't like to tell the world or others what I do for other
What was
people.
what what was something amazing? Somebody, it could be even like a smile. Somebody could open a door for you. It could be anything.
Oh, that
Anything.
somebody did for me.
Yeah, it could be what did you do for someone or what did somebody do for you this week that was amazing that you have to sit back and be like, that's so nice.
Hmm. Well, my daughter, she
Oh,
and I was talking, and I think she realized or she felt it from the way I was talking, like maybe I was kind of down, and for a very long time, you know, she told me yesterday that, Daddy, I love you. I love you so much. You
that's
know,
so sweet.
yeah, and that changes the the whole atmosphere by the way I was feeling. You know, I think that was something really amazing that she did. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and I appreciate that.
That's so sweet. Oh, Jimmy. No, I like that. That is so sweet. So my daughter is the one who always do that. Like she'll always come and hug you and just give you a kiss randomly. My son, he rarely do that. So I would say, yeah, he did something amazing for me this week. This night shift has really got me off track. So
Mhm.
They like I don't like them to make noise in my ear. Like I'm really like, hey, be quiet. Just go do what I asked you to do. So this week he just came. I think it was on Friday. I was so exhausted. I've been living on coffee, you guys. And he pulled me. He's like, he just came inside right in my lap. It was like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And then he hugged me and kissed me and said, I love you. And he left. I thought that was so cute.
Uh-huh. Yeah, actually.
So that was so nice. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that one. It's good when someone catch you off guard when you're not, thinking about it and not really like, oh yeah, you should love me. But I like that. Oh, I
Yeah.
hope to meet your daughter one day.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, okay. She sounds sweet. All right, let's jump into it, Jimmy. Now that so I just want to put that. Are you from Grand Crew? I want to come tease you small.
Nah, nah. Even if I was from there, I won't tell you
You
because
from Maryland? I know you from Maryland.
I know exactly what you're driving at, and I'm not going to go there with you, my young lady. So let's go into the discussion for tonight. All right? Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy. Okay, you plead the fifth. That's okay. So
I'm al-
tonight,
I'm I'm already mad at you, so don't put yourself in the mud.
no, tomorrow's a holiday. I'm home. We can have that discussion. So why you didn't call me anyways? We'll talk about this. Last night I was planning to call you, but I had a paper I had to submit so
Can,
fast. I was
can we
like,
go into the topic?
hello, my LIB, my Basa brother. Today I'm not on
Hmm.
the Basa people's side. Today I'm representing my daddy's side. So
Why is
um
Robert Pierce not coming on live today, tonight?
River Sesper will come on. Let me share the link with him. Anyways. Don't be picky on my Basa brother, yo. So tonight, why I'm doing this, let's jump into it, please. Um, so I know last night we left off where the thank you, Reverse Pro. Thank you. Some people here don't want to tell me congratulations. Ni makante, ni makante. Last night we left off where, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we left off where we talked about the mom, of this 35-year-old that she has literally, basically set the wrong foundation, if we can really put that out there. I know people make mistakes. I know people do things when they don't know the right thing to do, but we just got to call a spade a spade. She made a lot of mistake in raising this young man and in thinking, like most people think, giving your child everything, making the way or the pavement easy and stuff like that, not teaching him how to fish and understand his role as a man or as a human being in society as a whole. Made all that mistakes, and we pointed it all out last night. Tonight, I just wanted to dive a little bit different and just see, where it's not that you can't help your children, but where do we go wrong and how do we fix that? How do we fix, that we've done it wrong? Now we want to put these human beings out in the world and we're struggling. We're here. This is where we're at. Like this mother, she's fell up, she's done, and now she don't want him around him. But now society has to pay the consequences for this young man, this person she's raised. So that's where I want us to start from. Where does she go from now? Like what are the things she could do? Like, I mean, this man been to prison. He literally is at her house. She's at her breaking point. She's mentally, physically drained. You can tell by looking at her in the video that we watched. I've shared this video on my story. So if you haven't watched it, I will share it again before I share a clip of this podcast tomorrow. But Jimmy, what do you think? Where do we go from here? What can she really do? to help this young man now where he's at.
Listen, thank you very much, Fee.
Mhm.
At the point where a man becomes 35 years old, and he doesn't have a life of his own. I mean, he can't keep a job. He can, foot his own bills and stuff like that. And then he comes running to his parent, to his mother. I think the only place you can go from there now is to have him in the house, is to continually be a liability to her because she set that up and she will have to live with it. Anything outside of that, she will have him get into more trouble, go to jail, or probably get shot in the street, because he will either end up because he cannot keep a job and he need a place to stay. He need, he needs his upkeep. So the easiest way that most people in that condition will resort to is to go and sell drugs. And most of them likely end up being shot. Those who are smart, street smart, get successful in it, but then at some point they still gonna get caught. They still get caught and go to jail. So the only thing this mother can do now at that point is to let him come home. Since she only have a dog there with her, she just had to let him come home. Or if she don't want him to come home, you know, she I don't know which other way that she can help him, but every other way, if it is not working for him out there, there's no need for he to be out there, or else he's just going to get into trouble, and it's all going to come back to her again. So the only thing she can do now is to bring him home and let him start to do something in the house while he's there. Hey, listen, I'm going to take you in only if you agree on one or two things. And if you don't agree to do these things, I will call the cop and they will come and take you to wherever they can take you. So the two of them have to come to an agreement that you stay in this house, you're going to pay 50% of the bills, and I foot the balance 50, since you cannot get a place on your own. But it's not
Right.
for him but it's not for him to come, and she has to have a set of rules now when she's coming back. She has to have a set of rules, and that's what they need to agree to. I will only bring you home on these conditions if you agree to accept them. You come in, but if you default on them, I myself will call the cop to get you out. You know, Sh- there's a saying that says you don't teach old dog new trick. It is.
I was just about to say that though. I was just about to say,
Yeah. You,
welcome,
you
Reverend
don't
Bro.
Yeah,
you
thank you.
don't yeah, you don't train old dog new trick.
Yeah.
However, you can introduce a trick to the old dog and allow him to make a decision whether he learn, he's waiting to learn this trick or trades that will keep him in a safe place. Outside of that, nothing else you can do.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Welcome to the show, River Says Pro. Tonight we continue the whole, situation with raising a 35-year-old man, reaching your breaking point as a parent, when this person has gone astray. But, Jimmy, right before River Says Pro come in, I agree with you, but I'm afraid for her because the rage that he gets in, and she's just her and the dog. And I understand, like, she is, you know basically created this human being, and this behavior by, in enabling him and giving him everything he needs or wants, by her thinking she's helping her child, but now has created this adult child in society who basically doesn't get what he wants, will have a tantrums and do things that he's not supposed to do. I'm just wondering, I agree with you with that, but do you think she should also like have him sign up with a program, like someone like a coach, a coaching thing to really help him? Because I'm afraid she can say all of that and he can come back and just everything backfire. God forbid, take her life if she like push the envelope.
See,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, a man like that who have his five senses
Mm-hmm.
but refuse to use them to benefit him. You want to find a coach for him. What coach? Is it a career coach, a job coach, academic coach, or what?
I would say like, I mean, they have programs in the community like here, in the DMV, specifically Maryland. I think I came across some program where they teach young men to become, like fatherhood, like building them, like those motivational thing. Also, like I think job coach, like
See,
just understanding.
see, for God's sake, that man is 35. He's not a young man. He's
I know.
35. He's 35. If he didn't get his life together between 18, look, let me tell you, men, we men, eh? We
Mhm.
have up to 25 years to decide what we want to do
Hmm.
with our life. After 25, if we don't have any reason, or we have not decided how our life is going to be when we get old, you know, it becomes very difficult for us to realize our purpose. Is it possible after 25? Yes, it's possible. But it becomes very difficult. You see, because when you when you are there's a reason why in high school they have career, how do you call it? They,
Coach,
they have
career coach.
they have career coaches. Okay. And that is where you are supposed to decide what you want to be before getting out of high school. You see? And if you went through all of that, you graduate from high school, you still have not found a purpose for your life all the way to 35, that you cannot even keep a single job. You cannot, take care of yourself. Life is just now at a place where, you become a burden on society. You see? At the end of the day, he will end up applying for some government program and, go live in some government shelter if his mom, refused to take him in, you know? So that thing, his mom finding, some career coach for him, it's not going to work. It's not going because the first thing he needs is job, and he needs a place to stay, not in his mom's house. He needs to play. He needs to stay somewhere where he will pay his own bill, take some
Sure.
responsibility.
Absolutely. I agree. I just thought about that. But okay, you have a point. Welcome to the show, Dennis. Good to see you. You're mute. You're mute. That's
Morning, good morning, good morning from my side. You people going to bed now. We will just wake up,
I know.
and fresh up.
I
Well,
see.
good to be here today.
Awesome, awesome. Let's just hear from River Sespro and then we'll bring you in real quick, okay? River Sespro, what's your thought? I know you had some comment in the comment section last night.
Yeah, so thank you very much again. Great topic.
Thank you.
Uh Yesterday I had a little family meeting, but I went back and watched the good portion of the show almost to the end.
Oh,
I
nice.
wanted to see how my comments were addressed, and I really enjoyed the two guys. I even made a comment. I don't know if you went back on the show.
No, I gotta
Uh
go back to see that.
yeah, I really coming down hard on you, and that's what I'm gonna do today, my sister. So yeah, and I like the way Jimmy and Rich. So I posted a question, not to. I mean, it's in line with the same thing. So
Hmm.
before I come to that 35 years old guy, so I posted a question about. Remember the previous show we had when I talk
Yes,
about the daughter, okay, and both
yeah.
of you guys, uh, I'm like, oh wow, but this is the thing, Fee. So
Hmm.
when you said that, I was a little like. I wouldn't say disappointed, but I was taken back when you said, "Oh, she's of age." So the
He
comment
is.
no, Fee. So this is the thing, though. This is the
Uh-huh.
thing, and why I was a little disappointed because I share with you the situation with her when she went
Hmm.
to college and how
Right.
I got hot yet, all everything she did, yeah. Let me bring my voice down because she's in the house. But anyway, she yeah,
Don't be
everything,
my girl, Bill. Don't be my
yeah.
girlfriend.
So when she went over there, Fee, remember I spoke to you. So after things weren't working good with the college, she had a kid. We were all disappointed. I was heartbroken. Other people, children, my first daughter, and seriously, up to now, I'm so ashamed that people ask me, I don't say nothing.
Oh,
So the thing is, she called her grandma and said, "Oh, it's not easy with the bills and other things. I want to come back home." And I told her grandmother, I said, "Hey, it's the only reason I'm gonna let her back because she got a child, and you gotta let her know that things are never gonna be the same again. She coming back. I have my rules and regulations in the house. She went back. Grandma said, "Yeah." I said, "All that stuff she did, she went. She's not gonna do it because her little sister, yeah. I don't want her following her footstep.
right.
Her little brother, yeah. So you know, this tradition I talk about is more like a wash night. So what we do, we attend a Lutheran church, so we don't go to wash night. So what we do at home is the
Hmm.
family gather within 30 minutes before the next day on January, by the 31st, we stay outside, we play some gospel music, we pray, we go around with a prayer. Everybody pray individually, then I kind of close it, we go clockwise or clockwise. So the day, it has been something before she left when she came back. So her little sister, the brother, everybody will be doing it, the mom. So that one day she said, she didn't come out. And I'm like, say her little sister. I said, go girl. She said, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, wait a minute. But this is a family tradition. This is I was like, no, that isn't right because this is something that we've been doing. Your little sister is watching, and you could see the little sister face when I told her to call and she wasn't coming, or she was disappointed, but she didn't say nothing. Even the brother, because the children are looking up to her as an example,
Right.
and she didn't. And so I was like, she said she tired, and I just said, okay, but the next morning I asked, and she said, oh, I'm sorry. But this is the thing, though, Fee. You grew up in the system. This is the problem that I have. You grew up in the system. You know what family value is, Fee. I
Yeah.
came to the United States and I learned a lot. Even sitting around table, sitting
Right.
like dining
To
table and having
eat, like
Thanksgiving.
for dinner.
Yeah, I was never used to it because we grew up
Right.
in a society where mother divided food. Everybody go in the lake corner and eat. So I started learning it. When I remember going to some people home, they having things. Everybody said that I'm shy. I can't even, they discussing, talking family thing. I'm not used to it. So you grew up in the system and you know what family value, how they take it in the United States. See, there's this guy that worked with us. Well, they brought him, he was a boss, big boss for I think Michigan or somewhere.
Right.
That guy came fee, I'm telling you. That's why I really respect these people. The job load, they said, well, they gave his job description. He was a boss. And I remember the schedule interfere with his family tradition, something they did, something that to us it would sound like nonsense. I think we're hunting or fishing, something they have done generation upon generation. And you know what the guy did? Feel like I quit the job. Everybody we were shocked. He
Oh
said,
yeah.
yes. Yes, he said, I
I
can't do
have
it.
quit a job.
Yes. He said, because this is my family, this is something I cannot, if you're gonna put me on the schedule, I'm not gonna do it. So now you see what I'm not talking about a man who is almost 70 years of fee. He's
Right.
still honor that family tradition. So this is what I wanted my daughter to instill in her. So tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? When we're not around, so she would keep it up. So for me, it had nothing to do with age I seen people yeah Thanksgiving. I seen family, older people they travel from states, put in a vacation way 1 month ahead of Christmas just to go spend time with their family because that's a tradition. That's why I want her to understand. It's not about so this whole age thing, fee. I think we are having a lot of misconception with it we about A, and I preach about A lot in church, and you won't believe how many parents will come to me. These mothers, they are afraid of the children. They will come to me. I remember one day, guys, sorry if I'm going to take it too long, but one
It's
day I
okay.
preached on why Mary. Why Mary was the topic. It was Christmas. Why Mary was chosen among all the millions of women in Nazareth. Mary came from Nazareth. Nazareth was a place that was overlooked, almost like West Point, like places that were marginalized. And I
Right.
asked the question, mothers, have you asked yourself, like, feel ask yourself, why God chose me to be the mother of Riley? Tomorrow, a Riley is an engineer or she's a doctor. It's a reason
Right.
God chose it. And I told the children to obey their parents, regardless of where your parents come from. Your parents might come from the who, from the slum. And I told them, I said, they were up there, they all looking at me, they all front of it. I said, this 18 years old thing is destroying,
It
destroying.
is.
I saw at
I
18, oh,
agree.
I can make it. Yeah. And this one mother came to me. You could see the mother, the woman walk over. A Nigerian a lady. She walked over. She said, wow, why you said it touched me. And I hope my children, she says, they 18-year-old business. Ever since two of my boys turned 18, like they are going crazy. She said, I'm grieving every day. So this age thing fee, I want us to minimize it. Well, based on the society, we cannot. But I think that age thing is destroying a lot of the fabric of our society when it comes to family connection. Just think how many children we 18-year-old they got damaged. How many children 18 they leave home, they wayward, become prostitute, and become all those things. So for me, I love my children. I don't even when they come in my house, I do everything in my house. I pay my mortgage, everything. All you have to do, little rules, help in the house. That's how I am. I'm not a parent who give they give that no, because I'm a hard working person. I do a lot of things for myself. So
Yeah.
that's the point I will put it. When I say fall in line, yeah, maybe it
That's
sounds
what
a little harsh.
I need to address with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because see, I use that word because when I was growing up, let me tell you, in my 20s, I had a girlfriend on the, on the oral. My dad, I fell in line with my dad. My dad used to check our room. I'm telling you, when I was in school, check my room, make sure my girlfriend, all my friends had a girlfriend walking around with her. My girlfriend, how I'll hide her because seriously, that's how much it was. Imagine I
But you
was
were
already
in
of
high
age.
school, right? You were
Huh?
in high school. You were in high
Yeah,
school.
yes. I
You
was in
shouldn't
high school.
even have a girlfriend.
So No, well, big year, the children 14, 15, country. Yeah, but I had to feel so. I think that's where I came from. That was my point of saying when I say fall in line, maybe it sounded too harsh, but what I was
It was harsh. So
yeah,
can I address it a
sure,
little bit?
absolutely.
So, like I said yesterday, I think you should have a rules in your house and things like that, right? When
Mm-hmm.
your kids are coming back, let's just say, for me, I didn't have that opportunity where I'm an adult now. If things go wrong, I can say, well, let me go to my parents' house. No, I don't have that because my parents are not where I'm at. And it's just a whole different dynamic for me, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like sometimes it's not what is said, is how it's said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the way we addressed it didn't really come across wholly. So what I was trying to say is that I feel like when you have an adult child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're letting them come home, that's before they even enter into that door. That's where you lay everything down. And I'm not saying you didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't there. I think me and Peterson asked, like, we asked, I don't think you had the time to come back and really comment on there, but we asked a question. We said, is this something that's been going on? Is this something, or you guys just started doing this as a tradition? How long? Like, when she was little, is this something she knew that you guys always do and is required? Also, secondly, how we responded was based on, you said she was tired. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
she
she
said
told.
she said
Okay.
it though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the way you wrote it said she was tired, but we didn't get it where she said she was tired, right? So
Right.
it made her understand, like, and then the part where you said fall in line, it's kind of like, and then for me, I guess is where I'm thinking. I'm thinking as, are you wanting this person? What is the purpose of you wanting everybody there? Is to understand, one, I get it, is the tradition part, but to understand the meaning of crossing over as a family together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when people become adults and they grow up, they're formulating their own thing in their mind, what they believe and things like that. Even though we have tradition and we want them to follow it, but when people don't understand what value they play to a certain thing, it's like they overlook it. Like, oh, it's just something, you're just dancing outside anyway and you're saying prayers. I can pray in my room. But as an adult, if people really understand what it is and how, that's where we're coming from. Like, this is what we do. Because I'm pretty sure, River says, Pro, the goal of this tradition is that, God forbid, when you're no longer around, the
Mm-hmm.
oldest person will continue that family history, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so where we were coming from is that it's not that you can't have a rules. For me, I will have a rule for my kids. Like, there are certain things you can do, you cannot do, and this is how we go about things. But I just feel like you can't hold a 21-year-old, and I know I'm focusing on the age, right? But once you
Mm.
become 21, is the idea in my mind, like right from wrong, the right thing to do. I don't think you're fully like grown and do everything on your own, but at that age, you have reached the age of understanding, in my opinion. I don't think 18 means like you can leave your nest and all that, but I strongly believe you reach the age of understanding. That's one, you've had the opportunity to go to college, you've interacted with different group of people, and you can kind of like formulate your own idea about what the world looks like. And now you're thinking of how you really want your life to be when you do marry and have children and things like that. So those value systems are still there, but that doesn't take away from your family value system. Like for me, we have our tradition. We all have to eat dinner every day at our table with our kids and stuff like that. That's something that we're like trying to implement. Even if we can't make it,
Mm-hmm.
the other parent has to be on the phone while we're all talking when we're eating. Like if it's just me with the kids, I would sit here, the dad would be on the phone and we're talking. Oh, dad's late, and then we're talking, or vice versa. But I just feel like um as African parents, like we have these rules that are like what is do or not, and it's like just do it because I said it. But I just feel like if we explain a little bit more to, and I get it, you're gonna be like, it's my house, why do I have to explain it? But again, I'm just trying to get you to understand the goal of you getting someone to do something is that when you're not there, that thing continues. So if you're there and it's happening, they're there, it will happen. But what if you're no longer there, or what if you just travel and you're not there and mom is the only one? Will everybody participate? You know, so where we're coming from is not that you can't tell her the rules or stuff like that. It's just getting her to understand why truly she has to be there and the importance of it to the family. I think that's where we were going with that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, look, I was coming because for me, I just felt like Pastor Man
Fee,
got a parable to say you
let
can't
me
shoot
come
And you
in.
elephant to
said
a
fall
child.
in line. We
Yeah.
don't
Let me
talk
come
about you
in.
said fall in line. That's a fighting words.
Let me
Yeah.
come
Okay.
in. Fee. Let me come in.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come here, brother Jimmy.
Look,
Oh, the men are on me tonight.
let me tell you something, Fee. This
Yes,
is the
sir.
same mistake. This is the same mistake that this woman made, and today
No,
her
she
own
made a
son.
complete different mistake.
I'm
No, no.
coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Mhm.
Let my
Go
I'm
brother
ahead.
coming.
Jimmy learn. You scary now, Jimmy. Coming for you. I need.
Because you know, because she failed. She failed to train him.
Yep.
She failed to teach him. And like I said last night, it is very dangerous for a female to raise a man, a boy to a man. But anyway, we keep that for another time. But
I think
what I'm
maybe
trying
we'll
to
talk about
say,
it next week. We'll talk about it next week.
what I'm trying to say here is this.
Uh-huh.
River says did not make any mistake by using the word fall in line.
Thank you, brother.
I
You
don't
guys,
I
falling
don't
line
know.
is a fighting words.
Fall in line means doing the right thing.
Exactly.
I don't know how
It's
you
the way you
understand that.
say it. No, I get it. It's about doing the right thing. But Jimmy, if you and I are talking and you say you need
And
to come, let
and
me let me give you an example quick. Hold on one
no,
second.
okay.
Huh? Let me give you an example. So the way we're doing this like this, right? This bender that we're having, going back and forth talking, right? Let's just say you are like, well, Felicia, no, da 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 da. And in a minute, I said, you need to fall in line.
That means I need to do the right thing. I need to
No,
I,
it's
I
the
need to go
choice
by
of
the rules
words.
of the show. I need to go
It's
by the
the,
rules of the show. You know?
so,
So
Yep.
okay, you tell me
uh
fall in
uh
line. I say, no, I'm not falling in line. Then what?
okay. Listen, Fee.
Hmm.
If you're not falling in line, that means you are refused to do the right thing, or you are
Right.
refused to abide by
By my rules,
whatever
right?
standard, whatever
Okay.
standard that we have. You have disagreed to abide by those standards.
Right. And
Okay?
then you tell me
So
leave out of my house, right?
here is the thing. Hmm?
Hmm.
I believe and I believe and and adequate and River says adequate he can prove me right or wrong. In that house, there's only one woman there,
Hmm.
and there's only one man.
Yep.
Every other person there is a child
Yes. Thank you,
in that
Jimmy.
house.
Yes.
Which means as long as you accept to live in that house, you must
Thank you,
exhibit
brother. That's the point. Oh my God. I enjoyed.
you must
Go ahead, Jimmy.
exhibit the behavior of a child. A
Yes.
child, who is a child? A child is somebody that follows instruction. A child is somebody that learns from adults. A child is somebody that obeys their parent. You see? So if your father tells you something and you don't do it, what kind of behavior is that? Is that obedient or disobedient?
I agree. Listen to me. Listen, I think you
No,
guys are not
answer the question,
understanding
yes or
where
no.
I'm coming
Is that
from. It
obedient
is
or disobedient?
disobedient if your father said do something you don't do it.
So,
But if I
okay,
come
now
to
let
you,
me
if I,
let me
as a
continue,
child, if
Fee.
I say, Dad, I'm
Let me
really
continue, Fee.
tired, huh?
Let me continue, Fee. This is a tradition in our house that everybody that lives in our house is aware of.
Yes.
And I believe And I believe before that night, a prior notice was sent out, either, or verbally or text message, whichever way they used to communicate.
Yep.
And she being the biggest person, the biggest child, I call it public, knows this tradition.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's
She
what
had
you're saying something, right? I don't mean to call you up, but you're saying something where we ask, we're like, is this a tradition that's been going on, or is this something? So then we ask, is it possible you can have a conversation with her to try to find out why is it that she did not follow this? It's not that we're saying you can't tell her what to do or have a rules for your home, but you also have to understand at the same token, this is someone that's growing to be an individual of her own as well. I get it. I get the whole thing that this is your house, this is your rules, and she has to follow them. I completely agree that that should happen. But in this situation that this happened, that this person said, but again, we can probably say she comes to all of them every year, right? But this one time, this person said, I'm not able to come in. And it's a problem. Why is it a problem when she tells you, I'm tired? I know you feel bad and things like that. I know we're saying, well, she's an adult, treat her this way, blah, blah, blah. But again, if I came to you and you're my dad, every year I'm there. But this one year I said, I'm really tired. Now we got to go back and say, what happened prior to that you would be tired? Were you just making it up? Now, if you're upset because she didn't do anything for her to be tired and she's just doing it or she was upset with something, that's why, then we fully know she was being disobedient by doing that. But if someone concretely, just because it's your house doesn't mean somebody can be tired. If she's coming to you and say, I'm really tired, I can't come today, can I just pray in my room? Why is it considered disobedient?
Fee.
Yeah.
Fee.
I'm fighting for my girl here. I'm gonna fight for her. I'm sorry.
I think you have 2 children now, right?
Yes, I do. And that's the only 2 children I have in by the grace of God.
Okay.
Don't say now.
Well, we're not going to discuss that here.
Okay.
But what I want you to understand is this.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad sent her little sister to call her.
Yep.
Okay.
She didn't attend to the call. Rather, she gave a message.
Yep.
To her little sister to tell her
that's
dad.
Disrespectful.
Exactly.
I would say that's disrespectful.
No.
I agree with that part. That's disrespectful. I would have come out and plead with my dad and tell him why I can't come.
I'm just explaining to you. The reason why River says have to raise this. Because I would have been dead if my father sent somebody to call me and I sent message behind that person and go tell him that I'm tired. You see?
I agree.
No matter how tired she was, she would have just come and sit with them for that 30 minutes.
Yep.
And go back and have the rest.
Jimmy, sorry, I'm not cutting or anybody. Jimmy, it's not just any funny tradition. It's prayer. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says prayer. It's not like I say, oh, let them be bass or drum in the night or something. Yeah, so that's what I'm like. Yeah, some things are just not. Something are just obvious. To me, like it's not like.
Let me ask you, Rebecca, I don't mean to call you all right. And I don't think this is true to whatever I'm about to ask. What if she's reached this age and Christianity is not for her and she's figuring it out? Have you ever thought about that?
No, because yeah, that's out of the question because she was in church. If she goes to church, yeah, she's a church. No,
we can all go to church and still have things in our mind trying to figure it out. I'm not saying it's true to that. I'm just saying
that's a possibility, though. But
what if? Do we ever think about that? Okay, we're leading you to Christ. Are we getting you to think to make your own decision as a person to choose Christ for yourself, so that way you'll live that life for Christ? you've done everything right. You've taught this person, this is what it is. We believe in that. The whole goal is for me, in my opinion, as I'm raising my children, I think my goal is to introduce them to what my faith beliefs are, right? And I pray to God that God, as they become an adult, this is the same thing they're going to believe and follow along, and go through. But again, we have to think that we're all growing and trying to understand things on our own. And I'm not saying this is true to that, but I'm just saying the whole purpose of you doing this tradition is that, one, we're Christian, we believe in God, we know that God is going to take us through to go through the next year, right? And we pray together as a family that we'll go through the new year together. We feel blessed. And just that communion with each other, right?
Yep.
What if this person had reached to the age and say, well, that's not something I believe in, and I don't want to do that?
See,
I mean,
there's only one thing River Cells can do at that point.
Right.
That in this house is a Christian house.
yes. Yep.
Okay. I agree.
If you choose to be a Buddhist,
go to the temple.
find a place where the Buddhist people can, I call it.
But Jimmy, I think that's wrong as a Christian. I have to say that's wrong. That's
No,
wrong. Hear me out.
no,
Hear me out. Hear me out. Why I think that's wrong,
no.
right?
Let
Hear
me
me
tell you
out.
why.
Just hear me out. Just
Let me
hear
tell
me
you why
out.
let me tell you why you shouldn't say what you want to say. In the first place, it is enshrined in the Constitution of Liberia. Sorry, the Constitution of America.
Uh-huh.
And it's also in the Constitution of Liberia. The
What is
freedom of religion.
it? Right.
That means a person has the right to choose what they want to serve.
Right.
Even in the Bible, in the book of Joshua, Joshua says, choose ye this day whom you may serve.
So you're getting to my point, though. What I'm trying to make here.
I'm coming.
But let's land. Time.
Listen, I am coming. Joshua concluded,
Yeah.
as for me and my house,
Okay.
We will serve the Lord.
that means he made a conclusion on behalf of his family.
Yep.
His wife, his children, as long as they are in the household of Joshua, they will serve the Lord. If you choose not to, that means if you choose not to serve the Lord,
in the house.
when you choose not to, why will you be in the house and be serving other gods and be giving us?
I'm just. You didn't let me. You didn't let me land. You didn't let me land. The reason I'm saying this is because I can sit there and just sit there. So, is your goal real? Are you really reaching your goal? You just want my outer body just sitting there, or you want me to participate wholeheartedly? That's where we were coming from with this, because at the end of the day, right, we can do it the hard way and say, "Is my this is my rule, my da 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 da," and the person say yes, okay, and then boom, they decide, well, tomorrow morning and say, well, I'm leaving your house. Do you know what you've created?
How old is she?
21.
She's 22 this year.
How hard has her father tried?
Yep.
No, hold on one second. What I'm trying to say, right?
No.
No. Let me finish.
Enough now. I have here enough. You guys will not cut me out of this show. You understand that? You people will not cut me out of this show. I just watching you guys.
We have
you
Dennis and we have Richmond.
just so today and you
talking.
We have Dennis and we have Richmond.
I try to be very obedient, but you guys don't want to give me chance. And we're gonna have a serious problem. You people know me for that one.
Just really quick, let me land and then you come in. Jimmy, what I'm trying to say here in River Says Pro, I'm not trying to create this whole thing and say she can't do this, you can't do that, right? Yeah. My thing is, the goal is that you keep that relationship, that your daughter is so close to you that you don't create us. And I think that's where a lot of parents are catching it really hard to balance that. Well, here's my rules, you follow it, and that. I think the goal is to get into the person's mind to understand where you stand and where they stand, where you don't create that thing where that child just leave and never wants to return, and they create that extreme relationship between you. And that's where me and Peterson was coming from. When you use those words, when you say those words and things like that, you say it's not that you're walking on eggshells with them, because I definitely got serious discipline and things like that. But I think when people get to that certain age, it's just, I feel like you should try to use the psychology part of it and just try to get into their mind. Where are they going? What are you thinking? Are you truly a Christian? Because if you believe as a Christian, you know what we stand for. You know what it is we do. It's almost like you're preaching to them and evangelizing to them to fully understand where you're coming from. It's not, and I know it's hard as a parent saying, well, this is my rule, I'll help you, you're growing, you come here, you're doing that. But the goal is you're trying to win that heart for God. And I feel like sometimes we're so tough and we don't understand where they're coming from. Maybe personally, it might not be she's just tired physically, but it might be emotionally. Maybe there are things going on in her mind. Most kids in this age, by the time you're 21, and if she has a child, there are things too going on in her mind that you have to be considerate of. I get it. It's your rule. It's your thing. But, I don't know if you understand where I'm going.
Let Dennis come in. I mean, as much as I'm I'm practicing psychology. I'm not here to read people's mind. To tell you something, that's too much for me. I got too much stuff to think of to
No,
start
but
reading
you can
people's
sit
mind.
down and talk with her, though. You can sit down and talk with her maybe once a week, once a month to understand. So my question is, after that happened, did you ever revisit the conversation? Did you guys ever sit down to talk? Why is this that happening? X, Y, and Z? Did you get an explanation
I
of
just
that?
said, "Oh, sorry, I was tired, but I already know the kind of character she is,
Okay.
and so we
Okay.
we we already aware, me and the mother, so we
Okay.
already know what's up. So we just like let it slide, but we hopefully we hope it doesn't.
But I don't think you should let it slide. I think you should get to the bottom of it so she understand moving forward. This is what it is, and it shouldn't repeat itself again. That
Yeah,
I'm tired will not happen again.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
So
Yeah, Dennis.
that's what I can't believe you on the one with me.
Yeah. That your moderation, that your light. You see, that your Americanization. Upa, we're not into it. We are strictly Liberian discipline, form
Well,
of discipline.
Bro, you cannot blame Fee right over there. Fee has spent all her life
Yes,
US. She has the kind of culture, the kind of stuff. It is
I
already stuck in your head.
I
So
agree,
the kind
Dennis.
of things to get it out of that kind of person, you'll be struggling, bro. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
That's
All
true,
right. Don't
Dennis.
waste. I see you people wasting your time here. That's why I just looking at you guys. You're wasting your time. You understand where fee of this, that, what if, and what if, and what that. That's how they think over there. What if the person is like this? What
Somebody
if
else coming from
what
you. Oh
if
my
the person
God.
don't want to be like this? What if so, bro? You people don't waste your time.
Mm,
Okay, let me come down to my experience. Okay,
mm,
let me
Oh
come down to
boy.
my experience on,
yeah,
on what I understand about this topic. Actually, this topic is a very nice topic,
mm,
but I will just speak from because I will tell you guys strictly, African and Asian have so much intertwined that you will not believe on what I learned from a lot of my clients who are Chinese and who are Filipinos, who are Korean, what I understand from how they work their life up. You see, they just don't kick their kids out of the house when the kids reach 18, or the kids don't just leave the house when they reach 18. On a
yeah,
few Asian family, the kids is themselves make their decision to go on their own. But this is how they live their life. Okay. This is how they live their life. Just a second. this is how they live their life.
This man just put himself on block.
Mama, then you just came by, you
So,
can't.
so River says, let me ask this really quick before we bring Richmond in. If she had talked to you a day or two before explaining why she couldn't, would you have considered?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. See, my
So,
thing is that
okay.
it was just
So
you
then
know.
I understand where you're coming
Oh,
from.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a no. Yeah, I'm a, my parent. You know, I came out. My father was very authoritarian. You know, that male dominant thing in the house. So, but I'm a little trait of my father. I'm not authoritarian, but I'm a little bit authoritative and permissive. You know, I kind of
Okay.
combine both of them. I'm a nice parent when it comes, but there are some things. There are some things that when you know when we set the rules in the house. I just wanted to be, it's
Yeah.
just to keep. See, my thing is the next generation that is following. You see, that's how I do things. The sisters and the brothers. And we'll continue because I want to go back to that 35-year-old guy and
Yeah.
experience that I kick people
Okay.
out of. I put people out of my house because I didn't want them. And I don't want to go there right now, but let
Right.
Dennis finish. And then as we continue the
I'm here. I'm
conversation,
here.
I will come in.
So what the Chinese do, what the
Mhm.
Asian people do, they don't get their kids out of the house. So what happens is, for example, for some of this rich family, what happens is they get the kid. That's what the Bible says: train up the child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So what happens is they when their kids born, they are training their kids. They train their kids to the house, to the family or family business tradition. So this is how they go about it. The kids don't leave the house. If you look at the family here, they live in a very big houses. Everybody, for example, the sister will have a husband in this house, or maybe the husband will move her to another house. But for the boys, he's not going to leave that house. He's going to stay there. For example, if they have 2, 3 boys children, nobody is going out to another house with
Okay.
their family. Everybody will stay right in the house and run things together. That's the family tradition. And what happens is they will do expansion of houses. So one house, one family house, you'll find it very big. Maybe you'll find like 5, 6 rooms in that house. Everybody has their own room. And when it comes to their business, what they do is they open multiple businesses, and everybody know that point. Everybody know where to work in and how to bring in the money together.
Okay.
So
Well, that's a
that
culture
system,
and tradition,
what
right?
of course, we are talking about culture, family culture, where but in the Western world, you people saying the kid reach 18, he should go out on his own and live
Not
here on his own and do
necessarily.
this
It
on his
just say
own.
you're an
But
adult.
what happens is, look, I will tell you that's why you see the Chinese, the Asian, they are richer than the European and the Americans. You may not believe it, but the reality. So what they does is they stay in that place. They have a culture, they have a tradition that everybody should follow. The dad of the house, he leave everything to the kids, but what happens is that culture and tradition, they continue it. So Yara said, what happens if you try to break that culture and tradition? Because there are some of the kids who, there in some ways that some of them may have break that tradition. What happens is they goes together and confront that family person and make it to understand that this is a tradition that was passed down from our grandfather, and that's what make us like this. That's what make us unique. Let me tell you, tradition make you unique. Tradition
So,
make you please give me time.
Dennis, no, we were just discussing the part. I want us to get back to the actual topic so that way we
No,
can, try to
uh,
get to
uh,
it. But I get what
uh,
Richmond
you're
has not
saying,
come
though.
in yet. You need to
Huh?
give Richmond a chance.
Right, right.
yeah, but you people keep money fee and fee, keep twisting you people here and there until the time is limited already. The time is limited already. So
No,
Yeri
I
said,
want you to talk about so we had the topic yesterday about a 35-year-old man where we found where we were just, you know, it's just a little topic that a little discussion from the past that River Says Pro just wanted us to address. That's
Yeah.
what we were addressing.
Because I
But
mean our
yeah,
general topic was on enabling. So
right,
that's the
enabling your
main topic.
child, you
Yeah,
know, like
enabling. So
paying for everything.
yeah,
Obviously, I don't
yeah,
believe in
yeah,
that. So I just want us to focus on that so that
yeah,
way we don't make this thing longer than it should
yeah.
be. Basically, when your child, so the 35-year-old in question, let me just brief you a little bit if you didn't get it yesterday. We have a
Mhm.
35-year-old
But a
man.
35 years old man, a 35 years old man should be able to handle things on his own.
Well, he
It's it's reality, all right. A 35 years old man need to handle things on his own. But for what I've seen in many
Richmond
cases,
side.
not everybody when you reach 35, you have to go out of the house, or as long you stay in the house, you have to obey your parents, the tradition that they have passed down, the system within the house, you need to obey that. But that doesn't mean that you doesn't have their own freedom as well. You get that? You have your own freedom as well. But as long when it comes to the house, for example, if you eat in a plate, you need to wash the plate and hang it up back. Okay? For example, you have to do that as long as you stay within that house. No matter what the age is. If he doesn't like it, he exit.
So Fee, can you let Fee, okay. So what was the situation regarding that 35 years? Because I didn't get it
Right,
in
that's why
the
I wanted to brief you in real quick, but Dennis is hot and ready.
yeah,
Yeah, but you asking not giving my brother's chance. You just on these people's neck.
yeah.
Okay.
I just
Okay,
want to
so
get a little
before we
bit.
get
Okay,
rich,
brief us on that. Brief us on that so we
okay.
can know what we
So
really
next
mean.
time, Dennis, you need to make sure you watch the show the day before, then you come in when we say part two. Let me put you
My
on the
dear,
blast on that
my
one.
dear, yesterday, 6 a.m. I was on the football field because my kids had game. So I was there until 12. I had no time. And during that time, you people sleeping, maybe somebody taking a second hand already. I don't know.
Okay, let's get going. Let's get going. This man going somewhere else now. All right, so Richmond, welcome to the show. Just a recap. Yesterday we listened to, well, some people have the video. I had it on my story. There's a lady who you could literally see physically, emotionally. She's drained, she's done, and she's just over life because her 35-year-old son is not doing anything in life that you can call productive. One, she enabled him by paying for everything. She let him live with him. He's been to prison back and forth. He lived out of house, but we're at this point where she finally reached the turning point where she's like, well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. He cannot come back to my house. He can't live here because when he get a job, he lose the job because, well, he will quit the job because he doesn't need it. He feel like he has his mom to go back to. And two, his mom's let him stay with her without paying rent or anything for 3 good years. 4, she paid for everything, bath, food, clothes, everything. Basically, like you're taking care of your 5-year-old. She did all of this, and now he came back after she reached the breaking point. She kicked him out, and he left. He came back at the house 5 a.m. begging to come back in. And at this point, she decided to make this video to the world, letting the world know she's done. She don't want him in. She don't want to be looked at as a bad parent. So she's expressing how she feels and all this thing going on. Yesterday, we discussed the part where we know she's done wrong and all of that by wrongfully raising it and doing all these wrong things. Now we're to the point like, okay, we have a 35-year-old in society who has nowhere to go, cannot take care of himself. What should we do now? Like, what is their advice to her? You can't just leave her out to the world. What do we do now with this man that's out here? Because there's a possibility of a lot of things happening to him. He could either end up back in jail, like Jimmy established. He could get shot, or she should just get ready to bury him. Or he can come to that house and break in and do something to her out of rage. So at this point, what can she really do with this man that's 35-year-old that we've established? So first, let's hear from Richmond since he haven't had the opportunity. Then we can come back to everyone else. Hey, Richmond, welcome.
Thank you. Well, I have been listening to every one of you.
Thank you for being
and
patient.
Well, back to Mr. 35-year-old Mr. Nobody. Well, as we know fully well, you know
Yeah.
exactly how my take is. The woman has already done her part. So if she decides that she wants to, she came up with the whole video thing. Congratulations to her. I guess she has pretty much come to her senses because at first I was trying to figure out where her mind is, if she was mentally ill as well, because how would you let somebody stay with you for that long for 30? He's 35 years old. That's number one. Number two, he went to prison already, came back, and then you let him into your house for him to come and be doing nonsense. And he's been going back and forth between jobs for 3 years, and you still decided to wait all that long. You did not consult no male figures to even take initiative. But then again, I also blame the male figures because a lot of them did not have common sense to say they should get involved in this matter. Like, where is her brother? Where is the husband? If the husband is late, then okay, understandable. Husband out of the picture. Where is her brother? Where is her cousins? Where is somebody? Like, has this boy not gone to no Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas celebration or anything that they couldn't take the initiative to try and fix him? Like, it just seems like this whole family, all of them are pretty much nuts in the head because common sense did not hit them all this while for them to take the initiative and do the right thing. Like, it's just a
Right.
complete screwed up family. So, yes, if he goes back to jail, so be it. If he
Let,
ends up being on the streets and getting shot, you can't blame yourself for it because you have already done what you needed to do for 35 stinking years. Now it is time for him to get off his ass and go do what is necessary. It's either because now him being out there, he's gonna pretty much figure it out. Okay, since I don't have anybody that is gonna be feeding me and giving me all the luxury of life, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna now stick to my job in order for me to be able to get income to take care of my my living, or am I going to do what I need to do, crime, for me to end up in jail so that way the government takes care of me? That is pretty much the two options he has. Breaking into the house, that one will still end him in jail. So either way, he has two options: fix his life by sticking to his job and getting a small apartment, or going to one of those charity organizations, Salvation Army, to help him out, or he goes into jail and the government takes care of him. That's his two options. So
so
I rest
so
my
so
case.
so
Wow,
so
wow,
so
wow.
so let me
Yeah.
yeah, let me let me elaborate, but let me ask a question to the panel.
Sure.
Then I will do small elaboration. Is there anything such as spoiling your child? Like,
Yes.
I mean, we heard it's spoiling your child, or is it just the
Of
effort of
course.
the parent to push to give the child? For me, I personally don't believe there's anything such as spoiling. But anyway, I
You
mean, to that,
don't.
yeah,
Oh, there is spoiling. No, there is
no,
spoiling
yeah,
your
There is.
child. When
yeah,
you give them too much,
Absolutely,
you
no,
there
are
is
spoiling
spoiling.
them.
because
I have seen it here. There is
so
spoiling.
so
People spoil their kids so badly.
I
Hold on,
personally have
hold
had
on, hold on. I
experience.
hear two people talking. Who else? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So
Go
I
ahead.
personally have had a lot of the look. This case is not an isolated case. Maybe we in the United States big. There are people. My auntie was in Liberia. Her son, that woman had all her children here in America, all girls. She had one boy. That woman, imagine the war was coming. They filed for that, the petition for that. She was in America. She went back because of that guy they called Joseph. Imagine that boy.
Mm.
She lazy, but that woman, for some reason, she loved that her boy. She left the United States and went Liberia. That boy was that guy still with her. He was man. He was probably in his 40. He was with his mother. When the children told the mother to come over to the United States, well, the woman said, if you don't bring Joseph, I'm not coming. The girl said, well, we can't bring Joseph over. Joseph is a drunk. Joseph, all he does is drink. Joseph will be of no good. The woman said, okay, the woman died. I'm telling you, during the war, that woman died on the road. Today, her body, there's no grave. Her children send people, they say, if they can even find
Wow.
one of their mother's bone so they can have something. That's how much that woman refused. for that boy. So those cases are not, they're not isolated. There are a lot of, another woman or to my husband, she explained the same thing too. Their mother got one child down there who for some reason he damaged all their property. When he sent business, he made sure, but the mother just loved that boy, just love, and he just stayed home. There are people who are homebound. They call them homebound. They just home. They can't make it. So see, my thing, guys, when I say, so okay, my daughters I talk about, my grandchild. I personally, I would not, if my daughter, if condition does not, I mean, I want her to get married, to get a husband, to get a home. But if the condition is not right, I don't mind if my daughter is 35, 30 years, she's living with me and I'm paying her. For me personally, I would rather keep her in the house. I would rather her not keep her, but I would rather her be in the house where she will go out and struggle, maybe get an abusive man or look, don't get me
I
wrong.
agree.
I want her to
No,
have a good life. But then people will say, oh, you're spoiling the girl. But for me,
no.
think,
Riverside Pro, that is understandable. That is a female. Okay.
That's a
There's a
separate
difference
case,
between,
though.
there's a difference between males and females. Females, yes, because you are the male figure. You are pretty much going to show her how a male needs to do things. But for a male, he needs to go out there and hustle because that is the whole point of him being a man. If not, how is he going to be able to take care of his family? Look at now, just like you mentioned that woman. What exactly did she end up doing? She ended up killing herself. And that is something that mothers do too much. They get so engraved into their sons that they spoil their sons. Your son is not going to grow up that way. He's not going to become a man because at the end, you are literally screwing up his life. You're not showing him how to be a man. And that is what we need to get. And mothers need to stop doing that. And that is why we end up having men that are pretty much wimps that don't even know how to really be a man. And then you wonder why some of them end up becoming gay. It's because they have so much female traits in them. We need to get that out.
My man,
I'm sorry, but it's real life.
Let's cool the temperature a little bit.
You people give me a little chance. Let me explain something. Because I have been dealing with I have been dealing with kids for the past 8 years to 9 years. I will tell you guys something. Kids are very sensible to understand the feelings of their parents towards them. And based on that, kids can determine in what ways to live. Let me tell you, kids are very manipulative, one, and kids, they are very sensible. For example, like what viral was saying, the guy up to 40 years and the mom. That guy, from the time he was small, he already sensed that his mom loved him beyond everything, and his mom can give him anything that he wants. So there's no reason for that guy to do anything. Because kid, from the beginning, the way how you treat them, that's how they're gonna pick up that. Because look, the thing about kids, they are very pure when it comes to sense of humor. They are very pure. They are very sensitive. They can see, they can feel, they can know what's up with the parents towards them. So many kids today that you see so spoiled, they're based on the observation from the upbringing of their parents towards them. So I have dealt with so many kids in this area. Like for example, one of my players that I have, very, very rude. The mom gave him everything. You know what the kids told me the other time? When I grow up, I don't even need to work to do anything because I already have everything. Do you understand that mindset that a kid, or so that guy will reach up to 40, 50, he's still like that? Why? Because kids, from the usual stage of the upbringing, the way how you treat them, the way how you balance their life, that's how they're gonna grow up. For example, if you train the dog to be bad, to be a security guard, that's how the dog gonna be. You have seen some German Shepherd, they are canine, and you see some German Shepherd, they are very stupid, right? Based on how the owner trained them. Where I live, you see some dog, if the dog lie down, you think that dog been working throughout. But the only thing that dog is doing is just eat. They have somebody who go for the dog and walk the dog out and go. But when you look in the police force, there's the same dog that is very aggressive and arresting people with drugs and other stuff.
Mama, did
Dennis, please.
Yeah, but he's saying the truth though. He is being honest, and that is true.
I'm just telling you guys that the extension how things work. You see some dog, I'm telling you, there's one dog that we have here. If that dog lie down on the floor, you think that dog come from doing messing up job. But that dog not doing anything. That dog is eating on time. It has everything. But you see the same dog as a police dog, it chasing drugs dealer and arresting them. So this is the same thing with kids. This is the same thing with kids. So the way how you bring the kid up, that lady you're talking about, Fee, that woman brought her son out some kind of way. Now she's tired. The same thing backfire on her. She don't know how to address it anymore. That's why she brought it up to the world. She don't know how to dress it up anymore. So for me, I cannot hold any kid based on how they live, because I'm a perfect example of that. This guy you see right here, I'm a perfect example of that. I grew up in a family where my stepdad and I, we never had a good relationship. And based on my own training, I have lived away from my parents for more than 10 years. And not one day anybody called me by and say, oh, your son stole this, your son was in jail, your son do this, or your son do that. No, it's based on the training that our parents bring up. So you don't blame that lady, I hold her responsible, because the way how that guy was very small, he sensed that his mom is willing to do anything for him. That's why what's somebody who is sound enough in their own knowledge will come from jail, go stay with their parents, their mom, and go to job and leave the job, come back and sit down, because you see you paying the bills. Look, let me tell you, if somebody paying your bills, giving you food to eat, putting allowance in your pocket, what the hell are you working for? Because the reason why we work is to get our bill, to make sure I know I have my house. My mom will soon die, or my dad will soon die. I will take this house. I don't need to struggle to buy anything. Look, let me tell you, that woman is the reason why that guy is like that, based on the primary training she gave that guy. I rest my case.
Thank you, Dennis. So I want us to go back, and I get everybody's point and saying, but I have a question I want to pose to Reverse Escort. Maybe that way Jimmy can come in. So Reverse Escort, I know you said this 35-year-old by no other means you can never compare your kids to them. Because I just feel like you, in my opinion, you've laid out the foundation for your kids. You've trained them how to live, and the whole purpose, I believe, that we train our kids to be things, to do work and do this, is because we're not going to be around all the time. God forbid, I'm not going to be here. Dad's not going to be here. Auntie, nobody is responsible for you. You're going to have to live in this world by yourself. So the reason for people to like get their kids to do these things is because for them, I know you made a statement that if your daughter's situation, I would say, is not compared to this. It's an isolated thing. Like, so my question is, giving the same situation, God forbid, let's just say this man was your son, right?
Yeah.
And he's been in and out of jail. Come back, live at your house, probably don't even follow your rules, because he feels like, why should he follow the rules? This is his parents' house. He's grown and he's not going to do that. Go in and out. He has a job, but he goes to the job. When he gets mad, he just quit and come home. When you ask him, why are you not working? You get mad. So I want to paint this picture for you. Let's say this is your child. Every time you come home, fall on the couch, lay back, watching movies, and just eating, probably leave the dirty dishes all over the place, and then not cleaning, not doing anything. Would you still say, I don't care how old you are, stay here?
Absolutely not. But then we have to look at so I'm kind of like, because in my area, in my field at social work and a little bit psychology, I'm beginning to see a lot of things. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Oh, I mute him. That was Jimmy.
yeah, a lot of things. I look at the mental health of the individual.
Is that Jimmy? Jimmy? Oh, Rivers, that's what I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what's that noise.
That's Jimmy. Jimmy, we have to mute you. I was trying to mute Jimmy and I mute you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so mental health is one thing that we have to look at too in some of those situations. But then again, Fee, I know we're talking about discipline, 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 and we quote this Bible verse that say train up a child in the way he should go. But Fee, is not a guarantee. What you want Riley to be or what you want your boy to be, it's not a guarantee. Look, my
I
dad wanted me to
agree.
be a medical doctor. Let me hear pushing cartoon. Yeah,
But you're still
seriously.
making an earning. You're
Yeah,
still
but
living, and
yeah, I understand, but just because you want a child, I know we casting the blame on that woman. So,
it's
the
her fault.
details.
Remember
Yeah,
that's why I
the
was saying in that
details.
video, you gotta watch it. It's her
Yeah,
fault.
I gotta watch the video. The details
Yeah.
are still sketchy. Like Ray said, the brothers, we don't see any other thing. What was his upbringing? What was the family unification? You know what? So many things are missing. So I gotta watch the video. But we casting blame on that woman. Maybe she was a single mother. Maybe things got
Yeah.
out of hand. Maybe the dad left, and there are a whole lot of circumstances we have to look at. So if it was in my situation, yes, I will kind of like really want him to get out to get a job. But maybe, I mean, the woman could have tried her best and moving on several times, and then he could not make it, and then he came back home. Maybe the release, because I had a friend who, or not a friend, he's not even a friend. He do was a criminal, but he worked. He was my co. He worked together, so I noticed he used to falsify his check. Not falsify, but what he used to do, he check stuff. He used to kind of like, because he was
Put a
living in.
different number on it.
Yeah, no, yeah, in different figure, he was living in his mother, and there's a white guy. He was living in his mother's basement, right? Because he came from jail, and that was the agreement. That was part of his parole that he should live there, so they can monitor him, and because he had an ankle bracelet, and that guy was paying $100 to his mother every month fee. Imagine that guy would go and tamper with his paycheck. If it's supposed to be 700, yeah, he will put 300. Then he will tell his mom, yeah, I'm telling you. And I'm looking at it, dude. Seriously, I said, you want to tell me you can give your mother $100? You got to go through all that stuff. And this is a norm, a person, able-bodied guy, but he doesn't want to give his mother that $100. He will go and tell his mother, we don't, I only made $300. I got to pay my PO. I got to pay this. I pay that. And he would live in the house, but that was part of the agreement that he lived with his mother in the house, and they have a base phone, and he has an anchor monitor and all those things. So I mean, yeah, look, it's a difficult. I mean, it's a good question, but it depends on the circumstances. But I definitely would want him out to get a job and to sustain himself. But again, there's so many details missing from that guy's life, his upbringing, and there could be too many things that led to the kind of person he is. Too many things, and like I think Jimmy said it over there. When women raise a child fee, I'm not trying to take anything away from you.
No, I
But
agree. I
yeah,
totally agree.
most
I
time
agree
when
with you.
when women raise a child, something always missing in them. A lot of them came out, the LeBron, they got some celebrities, some stars right now. They attribute their success to their mother, their father, or another. But those are rare situations, but if you look at in society, a lot of those guys that were raised by women, you can see some of them, they not, they were never successful in that thing, never went well with them. So I mean, it could be one of the situations with a single mother raising a child, and he couldn't just leave home.
Another
That's
thing
why
is
these girls
about him.
nowadays should be submissive. If you have your partner together, don't misbehave. Oh, I can do it all on my own. And then when the man leave now, you struggling with the kids. You cannot even raise the kid better. That's why we're having a lot of foolish guys in the society, a lot of foolish people who grow up now and are so messed up. Because they say gender equality, what a woman can do, a man can do, and that's lie. These are some of the foundation of all this chaos we are seeing nowadays. The foundation of all this chaos, what a man can do, a woman can do. You cannot raise a kid the way how if you have the father involved, if you guys are raising the kids together, it brings us something very unique in these kids. But nowadays the people say, wow, a man can do, a woman can do, which of course they are just foolish. And when you look around now, you find a lot of foolish things happening in our society, complete chaos, complete
That is
chaos.
absolutely true.
Let's hear
Like,
from Jimmy real quick.
Yeah, I think I will say this, and I will leave because
Yeah, we're about to close.
I've been here over an hour now. So I listened to River says, and he said, train up a child in a way that he should go. It is not guaranteed that the child will, become who the parent want them to become. Now, and he mentioned his dad wanted him to be medical doctor. I understand where he comes from, but your dad wanting you to become medical doctor that you did not become or you have not become does not neglect the fact that he grew you into the man that you are today, into a responsible man, into a responsible husband, into a responsible father. That's the training he gives you. So the academic part, you can still work on it in a different direction that which you are doing or you have done already as a student of psychology, like you said. So that part of the of the scripture in Proverbs 22 verse 6 is already fulfilled in your life, my brother. If that woman had trained her son, and I always say this, and I hope single mothers who are having boys, we listen to this. If the husband is not living a decent life that you can trust with your son, if you have a father making get close to his grandfather, if you have a brother who is living a decent life, make him get close to him. If you have a stepfather who is living a decent life, make him take charge of his discipline aspect. Because tomorrow, you as a mother, you cannot rear that man, you cannot raise that man, that boy to be the man that society will depend on. See, there are some women who have the trait of a man that have raised boys and they become men. But not every woman can do it. There are some women who have really strong disciplined hand, just like men. Those kind of women are not much in our society. Are not many in our society. But what you as a mother can do is to let your child get closer to a man that will shape him, into the direction that a man should go in. And they too much pamper. Oh, sweetheart, it's all right. Even though you know that the kid didn't do well, it's okay. No, tell the kid that this is bad. Look, my father used to whip me and tell me why he whipped me. You ask me, do you know why? You will finish beating me. Then you ask me, do you know why I beat you? I say, I don't know. Then he would tell me. There was a time I fought one of my cousin, a girl.
Yeah, ni le 14 Benin. Tingo.
My dad grabbed me and whooped me. He said, you are a disgrace. You are a disgrace to manhood. You mean you fought a woman? You see, look in our societies today. The society make it to look like it is normal for a woman to be alone, when God said it is not good for a man. He was not just speaking to, yes, the statement was for Adam, but in the general context, it is not good for even a woman to be alone. You see? And no man,
Talk you, my brother. Talk the thing you will not talk
no
it to
man,
me.
no stress.
No stress.
No man, no stress. But men, now you are there, doing von, I call it honor the blanket. when your TV break.
What is that? Which one is wrong?
Oh, please, I don't. When your TV
Fee, don't ask.
when your TV stand break, you don't go to grab the von. You call one of the boys from the church, the one that you say they're not your type. Oh, can you help me? I call it, dude. You need a man. Says you need a man. All men are the same. No, all men are not the same. You are the one who have been making bad judgment, choosing the wrong people in your life. I don't want to talk plenty to them people. Let it be so. Guys,
My brother, talk. I'm listening. I will continue from where you stop.
Listen, Dennis, we're not going to be here that long.
Russell Pro, let me make you understand something. When the Bible says train up a child in the way that he should go, the Bible is not talking about. The Bible is not really based on school or what you're supposed to learn. The Bible is based on moral conduct and godly conduct. You understand that? School has nothing to do with what happening inside that context of the Bible. Because what makes you a better man or a better woman is based on moral conduct and godly conduct. So, Fee, we know you will go. He calling you just being small. Yeah? So, making a better person, it has nothing to do with school. School is just addition. But we become better people from home before coming to school. That's why in school, if you see some kids who bully their friend at school, they are not better kids at home. Because a better kids who come from home will not bully their fellow student at school. So the first line of defense when it comes to kids being a better person, it comes from home. That's why the Bible says train up your child. Because remember, family is the smaller unit of society, and the family is the one who makes a society better. The reason why you can sustain your family, the reason why we all here can sustain our family is because I believe we grow up on a proper training. It's not about the school. So these women who passing and calavanting all around the place here saying, I can do it, and you can go. I will support my kid alone. I will grow up my kid alone. You don't even need a father. Who are you? Those women are making a terrible mistakes, and they are the problem to our society today. That you see, a lot of boys grow up not being a real man. A lot of boys grow up, a small thing happen, they start to cry. A small thing happen, they cannot challenge it. Because that's the way of a woman right there. Like what my big brother Jimmy was saying, it's not all women have that trait. You understand? Women don't like hardship. And now you see a lot of guys who grew up with single mom, they don't love hardship. They want it all easy. They are not willing to battle it, to stand there and say, yes, I can do it. Because that's the truth of a man, to turn the impossible to make it possible. That's the truth of a man, a real man.
Dennis. I don't know what happened, but let's try to. I want us to go back to the topic, though. I feel like we're getting off topic a little bit here. Dennis, I don't know what happened. We can't hear you.
His thing is frozen.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
frozen,
sorry,
Dennis.
somebody just busted my phone. I have to go. I have to go. You guys take care, and I love everyone. Thank you for listening to me, and to God be the glory.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate your feedback. All right. No noise. So I know we are getting to the wire here, but I know we've been going around saying, Trini, but I really want us to close this topic in by giving this woman an advice. Like, what can she do now? I think, I know Richmond said there's no hope for him. He just needs to go live on your own, figure it out. But someone who,
No. You're not getting my point. I didn't say there was no hope for him. There's hope for him, but the hope does not involve the mother being the one
why
to take care
not?
of him. No, because
I
he
disagree
should be able to
though.
do it. Look, I'm a what do you call that thing? A product of single family home. I was raised by my father until I ran away from home, and then all because I was interested in knowing exactly what it felt like to be raised by a mother. And I was raised by a mother, so I see the part. Exactly what the guy was pretty much going through was what I started going through, because mommy was always there for me for every single thing. Even now, so if I call my mom and ask her for financial help, my mother will literally take all the money in her pocket and give it to me. But if her daughter asks her, she will not do that. It is normal for a mother to do that. But it got up to a point where I had to now take the initiative to say, you know what, enough. And then I stopped her from helping me, because if she continues helping me, I will continue depending on her. So I had to now learn to be a man. So he needs to be out there by himself, be on the streets and learn. If it means him having to go to jail multiple times, then so be it. She has already done her own part. And that is how it's going to have to be. So there is still hope for him, but it all comes down to he has to be the one to take the initiative and do what is right. She cannot be there and continue to feed him and do everything for him, because he will never grow up to do the right thing. He will never learn as long as she continues to get herself involved in it. That's literally how it needs to be.
I agree, but I also disagree because he does not know better and he cannot do better. All he knows is mommy will help me. And the only person that can help him take an initiative is his mom. In my opinion, I just feel like she had caused this by enabling him. And now she wants to pull the plug. Now, what are you going to have in society? Someone who's angry and just dangerous out there to do anything to survive. And in
That's his
order for him to
business.
do, no,
That
it's
is
not.
his
It's still,
business.
that will still
Look,
be her
see,
business because God forbid if he passed, God forbid, just hear me out. God forbid if he's on the street and go do something, he gets shot. Guess who gets to call for the body? Mom. Mom.
okay, if he gets shot, that's his business.
I
That's
I
his
I
fault.
I think Fee. I know you
Mhm.
were talking, but
Yeah.
there's something I'm gonna really commend women. There's something unique about women. A lot of times, we men, I don't know if a lot of us understand the psychology of it, but there's something unique about women. Um, that's why I used to work, like, I was trying to be a LPN, and I
Mhm.
remember I had to do CNA for a little while. There were women and there were men, patients, who didn't want a man caregiver. I think I said it before. There is
Yeah.
something about women when it comes to children and other things and other different people. A different man will rather have a woman take care of him, give him care, because that's just hereditary. We were born for a woman, woman changed our diaper. There are people that we lean on a lot of times. So I don't want to take I know I said previously about children are, most children that grow up with mother. But I don't that's why I tell you guys, I don't know if there's anything seriously to say on mother sport or child. I think it's just an intuition.
That's just women intuition. You know how our mother will have money and have money between other siblings and would just love and just give you that money and just have money. Sometimes my mother would say she she tried to tell me she had thing. She said, "And you know that coconut that I put under there, don't touch it. You already told me that you got a coconut. So there's something about them. There's something, and yeah, there is something." And I remember my mother one time feed my dad, like I said, the guy was very actor. I remember something from school and he got mad and the guy hit me on my face and my head hit the wall. Some I hollered, and my mom cried. My mom like, yeah, my mom fired. My mom said, look at you. Eh? You didn't even go far in high school. Why? You know what? You know, my mom used to, but then at one point, people would say, well, I was going on, he started telling me, well, if I'm going to leave you with your mom today, you're probably not even going to be educated. So he was probably trying to say my mom was spoiling me. That's how
There's the truth to it, though. I agree. Like,
he,
even me today, when I think about it, if my oldest brother, because our father passed away when I was like a baby. So I feel like if my oldest sibling, like my brothers, if they didn't stand strong to help us, there's a lot of women I know like they can do on their own. But all my sisters, like all of us, I can say all of us, pretty much our brothers raised us, and everybody turned out okay, doing well for themselves to speak. But now when I sit and think about it, our other step or half siblings that are with our moms, without dad, we can see like how their lives turn out as well. So there's some truth to it, though.
but you
I
feel, yeah, but let me ask you so you can continue. But feel you, yeah, I want you just put it in your own honest shoes. Like, do you, were you, will you spoil your two
Shiloh,
kids?
my son name is Shiloh.
Is it Shiloh?
Shiloh, back home they say Shiloh, but
Oh, okay,
we say
okay. Were,
Shiloh.
okay,
Yeah.
will you purposefully spoil them? I mean, like, I mean, is it an
I
instinct
don't
in
think,
you as a woman? Like, is
yeah.
that something that you think you can do?
No, I don't think any mom doing. After I'm done. After I'm done, guys. Yes. Yes. Go ask dad. Go. Bye bye. Sorry, this is why I don't have this show early.
Hey,
So I don't think moms do it on purpose. I don't think any parents do things on purpose knowing that, this is how the outcome's gonna be, but let me keep doing it. I think what happened is like you love your child so much to the point where you're like you kind of become blindsided to a lot of things
okay.
and you just do things. But I do think as time goes on, there are
Mhm.
glimpses that you see that you know is wrong, that you're enabling this person and they're not being self-sufficient to do things on their own. I know your kids were born here, right? If you go through the school system and you look at when they're at this age, this is what they're supposed to be doing. When they're this, like they start teaching them independence. They should be walking, they should be able
Yeah.
to request for things. They should be able to do that. It's kind of like those things. They don't want you because I feel like the society have noticed that kids that don't have these, they end up becoming, they exhibit different type of behaviors and things start to happen and they can't really handle themselves out. So they they require you for your kids to be at this certain age and doing this certain things, even though some kids takes longer to do it, but on the average, that's what it should look like. So to a parent,
Hmm.
even sometimes even my husband said, with these two kids, I know who is your favorite. I don't have a favorite. It's just this one where you feel like, well, they need you more.
Yeah.
And it always go to the boy's child because there's a saying boys are cling to their mom
Yeah.
and then girls cling to their dad. In my case, both of them cling to me a lot. Like sometimes I'm just like, just get away from me, but you got to be very careful because sometimes you're more sympathetic, and I don't know if it's because we carry them for 9 months or 10 months whatsoever, and we've built that bond that nobody can really explain. Like if something hit my child, I literally feel like you hit me, like it. Like sometimes I'm just like, why am I feeling this way? Like, I share with you over the summer, there's a whole lot of things happening at my kids' school that I literally had to tell myself, no, I need to quit my job and do this. So I went through that process where it's not that you're trying to, but you have to create that atmosphere that they can sustain themselves. And sometimes some moms, they overdo it to the point, oh, you want to eat? Let me give it to you. Oh, you need it. They're running there. And at some point I was doing that where it's like he needs his shoes, I'll go grab it and put it on him. But then I had to sit back and think, oh my God, he's not doing this on his own. Like I need him to do it on his own because God forbid, I think every mom should put it in their head, if I go to sleep, I don't wake up anymore, what does life look like for this person? And that's where I feel like every parent will find that boundaries. Like if you weren't here, you're doing all this is great, but are you going to be here 100% all the time? No. Then what happened to this person? The same fear that you have, they're going to go through that. So why not create that way so they can be self-sufficient and do things on their own? Even though you'll be there doing it for them, but create an atmosphere so they can survive on their own. Because if you're not there anymore and nothing, we all know in America, you can be making all the money in the world, but in 2 seconds, you can drop down in the world in general. So when you're not there anymore to provide, what happened? You don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. There might be a good Samaritan. I help them. But what's the probability of that? We live in a world, but it's selfish. They've never worked a day in their life. Now they got to work. When they get to work, they have to be measured by a certain attitude. You have to be to work on time. Well, I never had to be on time. Well, you have to dress this way. You have to do this way. You have to go this route. You can't pass through this way. You have to, like all the rules everywhere in our life, there's rules. So if you haven't trained your child to be, like proper to understand the difference between taking instruction and not following instruction from different people, then it becomes a problem because then they get rage, they get mad and start lashing out. So to answer your question, I know I went all around this. I don't think moms do it on purpose, but at some point you start to see a glance like you shouldn't be doing that and you still continue and ignore it.
So okay. So my next question to you is,
Mm-hmm.
so let's look at geographical location
Right.
or cultural setting, right? So do you think incentives? Do you think incentive, say availability of incentives, uh, kind of like promotes enabling? Say for example, so in Liberia,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see, because there's no way my dad was going to buy me a car, my mom, because no way. Yeah, I remember they bought me one bike and I broke that bike. Oh, I was in trouble. So the incentives is not in Africa, especially where we came up. It's not there. Our parents were not, wealthy. They didn't they never had it to give it to us when we needed it, like in America where people can demand things. So do you think it makes a difference when it comes to society? Say, Fee living here in America, okay, she can get car for Riley, she can get car for Shalom. She can when they come and be like, hey mom, I need to get a car until I can get, she would be able to get it. She would be able to get other things for him, that whether or not it is enabling, getting on his feet. Whereas if she was in Liberia, Fee would look at Riley like, what? You boy, you ain't sorry for me? What are you talking about? So do you think society makes a difference, or just enabler or just enabler, or I mean it depends on society.
I think it does, but then at some point too, it may not because there are people back home who can do it. It just depends on the availability or whatever it is you have. It wouldn't be the majority of society that would, but I know when I was in Liberia, some of the kids, the things that were bringing to school, I was like, we were in elementary. I was like, wow. So I think it just depends on like the economic status of who the family are. But society does play a role in that and what's going on around you. Like for me, I will tell you, I would not buy my kids a car.
Okay.
I would want them to earn it. Like I want them to work like what I
Okay,
was
so what's
taught. Like
about cell phone fee? Because it'll bring me to a whole new can of worm. Because I was gonna
I
ask
wouldn't
you
buy
what,
them phone either.
yeah, I was gonna ask you what defines enabling. Okay, so you wouldn't get them a car. So what's about like an iPhone? Riley can be maybe he like 17 years old. He got his first job, run to mom. He know mom got a box. I mean, Riley's smart. Riley already saw maybe some of the bank statement laying around. He lay out on it. And mom, don't tell him you ain't got no money because the boy already found out what's in a joint account. So I mean, what's about getting his phone? I mean, I ain't talking about don't Nokia, but trying to hit the latest iPhone, probably like $1,000. Come on, mom.
So let me tell you, I know earlier you probably thought like I'm like this modern Americanized mom or whatsoever. No, until you reach to that age that you can work and purchase your own, the kind and type you want, you can get that. But no, I'm not buying that. I actually don't even think I'm gonna buy them a phone until like I can have a house phone. They have these tracker things you can buy where they can just reach out to you. I'll probably get that. But to get an actual cell phone, no, I'm not buying it. And if I do decide to buy you a phone, let's just say I say, well, you've done this really good job in school, you're on a roll and all that. Let me buy you a phone. I'm buying you a phone to communicate. I'm not buying you a phone just that you want iPhone Pro Max. That even make me laugh. So I have a few kids back home that I kind of like take care of, right? And one of them, he's like my son, and he's like, oh, I told him, I said I want him to help something to show, because he's really good with social media, right?
Yep.
So he comes back. I told him, go find this. You have to find a secondhand stuff that you can use, and I'll be putting data on it, right? You know
Yeah.
what he come back to tell me?
Yeah.
He said he need an iPhone Pro Max and told me how much it costs. First of all, I don't even have an iPhone Pro Max, to be honest with you.
Fee, that's the thing about them right there. The thing we're not
Yeah.
using here. Yep.
And the device I'm even using for this thing is not even your whatever iPhone related. Like
Yep.
I'm not using that. I'm using what I want. And my phone is not even a phone plan. I'm putting myself out there right now. Like I
Oh yeah,
paid
me too. I got an Android.
I have a
It's
prepaid phone, Android.
yeah, me too.
That's what I have. I like my goal is not to be living like everybody else.
True.
That's why a lot of people would be like, well, you splurge. No, I don't. I'm very intentional with money and what I do with it. I'm more focused on building legacy for the generation to come, and I'm not here to be wasting it. So I'm trying. So I told him I will pay. You will be on a payroll, right? Guys, stop making noise. So I told him every month you will get paid. And I wanted to be generous. I said, okay, I'll put you on payroll. I'll pay you every month. It will be $50 a month. But I just want you to do something with it. And I'll give you the guideline. We'll sit down and talk about it. But go find a device. And this young man sent me this. So the total, if I was to get that, the total would be about $800.
Look at
For
you.
what? For what? So, he sent it to me. I laughed and I was like, he ain't serious yet. You are supposed to, by this time, you should have already started working, or
Yep.
you're going to be online. I will send you what it is. I want you to post every day and make sure you keep the page running and you get your $50 every month. That's it. All you're doing is clicking on and playing online. I don't have the time to be on all the time right now because I have a lot of things I'm working on this year. But I just say this to set them like, no, I'm not buying you. Like I see people out here that go to name brand place to buy for their kids. Hey, how about it? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. My kids look nice, but if I tell you where I buy my things, you'll be like, wow,
Yeah,
really? If I dress
good.
for my kids right now, you probably think I spent a whole lot of money and I post them. You think I spent a whole lot? No, I'm very, very cheap. Like I will tell you,
And
I've
that's
even
coming
gone
in
to the thrift
money.
store to buy some things. I've even gone to shop at Temu, whatever I can find cheap things. But I know how to get good quality stuff from these places, so that way it looks nice. It's not how much.
Yeah, good money.
So I won't enable my kids with that. I won't be spending that. I want to teach them to understand that, you know, there are times in your life you will hit rock bottom and you have to
Mm-hmm.
survive.
Yep, that's
And
true.
if
That's
you're
true.
used to doing this all the way, you're not going to. If you can afford it, hey, do that. But I wouldn't do that. No, I
But
wouldn't.
okay, Fee. Okay, so let's okay. What's about? I know we out of time. Okay, so what's about this? So, because you are one of those typical. It seems like one of my typical. You guys are but one of my typical American family, right?
Oh
So
God.
so let's look at this whole college thing, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know how you see it if you see it as enabling. So a lot of I seen white people do it, and I think you talk about it. I don't know if you guys do it, where they have college, where they save money, college. Like I haven't started it yet because I'm thinking that because I saw one of the celebrities, I think was Michael, one of those guys with my Big Johnson. He said, I'd rather have my children work for their own, get a loan and other things. But I work with white people who have college, who save money. You know, I see a lot of American people do it. They save money for their kids college for their colleges. So I I have a different view. Yes, I mean I have saving for my children, but it's not like I just save money for them just so they can have a head start. Say for example, at reach age, my son you want to get his car and other things, but it's not like I'm saving like 10 the 20, 30, $40,000 so he can pay college out of pocket. But there are a lot of parents that do it. See, what do you see that as enabling? Or what I mean, what
So.
yeah, do
You
you see
guys
that?
stop. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I have to. I have to grab them. You
Oh
know,
yeah, okay.
tomorrow is a holiday, so no school.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's going crazy in here. But yeah,
Okay.
I agree. So the whole college thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I have a savings for my kids, but it's not specifically for college.
Yeah.
I don't. If it comes to that way, they have to use it for college. Well, then my kids will never ever know about it. Anyways, I will never tell them that I
Mm-hmm.
have a savings for them for college because I want them to earn a way to college.
Yeah.
I earn my way to college, so my expectation is that they will earn their way there. Now, the savings I have for them, it has nothing to do with college. I could use the fund for that if I want to, but I don't have that. I don't blame parents who want to do that. They want to pay their way through. Hey, that's what they want to do. That's it. But for me, the savings that I have is the same way you're thinking, like to get a head start. Like if they're struggling somewhere and they need it, that'll help. Or if they're in school, they're learning and there's a hiccups where you absolutely want to get this and not be in debt and I can help, yeah, we can pull money from there. But I don't want my kids to even know that I have a saving for them, that they have money somewhere. No, I want them to have a fair advantage in life and work hard. Where I see the need of it, I will talk to them and say, hey, here's a little fun. Go and do that. But I don't want them to think like I have it all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I just wanted to know because I see a lot of people do it. So I wanted to, based on our topic, I just want to see if it falls in a category of enabling. You know, because
I don't think it would be enabling though. I think it's just you're setting it up. It wouldn't be enabling. It could turn out being. Hey, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
oh, that's fine.
I wouldn't call it enabling. I just if that's what they want to do and pay for college, that's it. But I've seen those people who their parents pay for college. They're always a handful and then never end up doing the waste all that money. And then there's, also I would say if my kid came to me and didn't want to go to college, I wouldn't be angry. Like that's my kids are just, I'm very practical. If you're choosing to go that route, you're not, I'm going to lay out everything to you, how your life possibly might turn out. But if you have a plan, you know what you're going to do, a trade or something to make your life sustainable for you, good for you if that's what you want to do. But I wouldn't say that's enabling. I would just, I think enabling probably is something where they could do it on their own, but you're there doing it for them. Richmond, what do you think? All right. Well, I guess we're at the final hour. We stay way over time, but I
Yeah.
think the conversation was worth it. It
Oh,
was,
it was great. It was
yeah.
great.
So I'm not angry about us staying late. But going back to that lady, I just think that it's difficult. I know we say a lot of women will say I can do it all by myself, but I also want to call out the men. I think when a relationship ends, even though it might be sour and the woman tell you that, I think a man should try everything possible in his power to be in his children's life. I don't care what the wife said or whatsoever. Like go do research, go to the bottom left pit, pull what you can pull to be in your children's life because I don't care what it is. It is still both of your children, how those kids turned out. And it's really embarrassing. Your male child that's supposed to represent your name is living out your name out here. It's like, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I just feel like
I see. I mean, look, in my era of social work, look. I must admit, I would take a little different, uh, a different trend when it comes to that lady. I think I kind of feel for that lady. Feel, the Bible. In the book of Proverbs. There's this one scripture that says, "A wise son maketh a glad father. The foolish one is always a burden to his mother." A lot of people don't pay attention to it. The wise son, if Riley or Shalom, if they be somebody, that last name, the first thing they're gonna be like, oh, that's my boy, that's my, you know what I'm saying? But once they start to mess up, do you notice the first thing, oh, their mom, you know? So I think that burden of that responsibility, it always goes to so, I can feel that woman's pain, Imagine that community to live in. She has probably become the top of that neighborhood. She got this one, he lazy, he in and out of jail. I think it's mentally draining to her. Putting her child outside, you can look at it two ways. It could be that she's not it's not it's not intentional. When I say it's not intentional, she's not doing it out of hate, or she's not doing it out of like, go, but just there's so many voices in your head. Look, I had a little niece, her mom, they said they wanted to do some little business. So she said, I said, okay, I'll help you to get some used clothes. See that lady, just imagine. She said, oh, she called me my auntie. She said, oh, I thank God I never knew my daughter could sell. She said, if the people say my daughter lazy, everybody talking about her. I spoil her. She can't do nothing. She can't cook. She can't. So that woman felt relieved. The fact that she didn't even believe the first time her daughter went to sell, she said, wow. She was so happy. So this mom, imagine the psychological or the mental torture she's going through. You got a 35-year-old boy, he in and out of jail, he's not productive to society, he live with you. People are saying a lot of things. So I think that idea of putting him out is just that way of saying, you know what, that's too much, man. Just go, and be somebody. So I kind of feel for her though. I know people say, oh, the training and things, but I want to look beyond that training, though. I mean, it could be possible she may have done her best. Maybe in the circumstances, dad ran away probably out of elder age, or he probably found out who the child was going to be. at some point he said, I can't be in his life because he ain't gonna be no good. So he left and left with with a mom. So that is not an excuse for his upbringing. But I'm gonna empathize with her a little bit, kind of get into her head to see what she's going through. And that's too much for her mother, so you expect your son to probably be the one to do things for you, to maybe go for bury, do a lot of things. Mom, I bought a house for you. Mom, I bought you a car. That's the expectation. But you are there, it's like the whole opposite. So I think it just becomes draining for her psychologically, community wise, maybe even family wise, and a whole lot of things. So I would empathize with her. I would go. I I, I wouldn't say, well, she didn't train, because I don't know. I don't have all that detail. I gotta watch the video to see. But the yeah,
Yeah.
I think I have a
I
little
share
sympathy.
with you. I share with you. You can just look at it.
Okay.
But I agree with you though. I just think I empathize with her, but then at the same time, just because I watched the video
Mhm.
and just listening to her, like I feel her pain and I feel bad, and I know as a mom, you want the best and you do these things thinking, well, don't pay any rent. Let me see how well you can work to get yourself started, and then it backfired on you. I know we can all sit here and say, you're supposed to be tough on him. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. And he didn't. That didn't happen. Again, we probably don't know the full story. But my message out here to people who are like just raising their children is like, get a male figure. Like I don't care if dad don't want to be there. He probably don't want to be part of it, and I don't care. Like find someone in the church, find someone in your family. Like a male, everybody has someone that they know that they
Mhm.
would like their child to, like behave that way.
Yep.
Or even if you have a neighbor that they're raising their kids well, ask them for tips and things like that. Because I will tell you, even though we have the two of us in here, sometimes I talk to my kids and they just look at me like my voice mean nothing. They just look at me, and I have to like
Mhm.
literally scream and be like, "Hey, I'm talking to you." That's
Mhm.
when they have to like listen. But when dad says something,
Mhm.
like the voice, everything switched. Like everything,
Yeah.
like they move fast. So it's just something that I feel like God, that authority in men's voice that God has put in there, like have a male figure to just, every week, if it's something like a mentor, talk to them, come into home if there's a problem, explain it to them, the struggle you're having with this child, and that so that person can make it a duty to be with them. Like find a male figure. I don't care, strong black woman, strong woman, or whatsoever we are. It doesn't matter. Like whatever you're saying is you're just saying it, and make yourself available. Be present in things you're doing. You know, I mean, I feel for her. I pray that God will figure a way for them to figure that out, because for me, what I've heard at work from these people that have been to prison and the things that happen there and how it's changed you, and that they're totally different people because they work for my job. When you listen to them, what they're saying, and you're just like, wow, how did you even, like, this world is even deeper than what I know.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I haven't even scratched the surface of this earth from these conversations that I'm hearing from these people, like things that are happening to them mentally. I'm just sitting there, wow. So when you come back, how do you even switch it off? How do you become? So, I just pray that, God help her, she help him. But I think him trying to figure out on his home is going to be a disaster. I don't think it's going to work. It won't turn out great, in my opinion. But
Okay.
let's hear Richmond feedback. Who's closing? Richmond, Richmond said they should go on their own.
Mhm.
We can't hear you. It looks like you have a network issue, Richmond. I
I'm
can
not
see.
hearing you.
Yeah, I can see
Can you,
his screen
can you guys
moving.
hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So basically, this is going to be my take on it, right? Pertaining to this woman, there's so many things involved. But anyway, I would say this is going to be my advice to all mothers or women with children, especially male childs. Please, this idea of you guys trying to use child support or put restraining order to chase the men away, please stop doing that. Because some of this is also your fault. Because you guys chase the men away and then you expect the men to then still remain in the child's life. Because if the male comes close to that child, he ends up getting in trouble as a result of court order. So, women, please limit that child support or whatever they call it, restraining order that you put on the fathers, at least the good ones. If it's the bad ones that are abusive and stuff like that, understandable. But the good ones, please mellow down on that. That is one. Number two, sure, the woman she tried her best and all that. But then again, this boy is 35 years old. So all that sympathy, I'm sorry, my sympathy pretty much ended from the age of 25. Because from the age of 25, I expected that whatever the upbringing and all that stuff should have already been taken care of. Her going beyond that and still assisting him with all that nonsense that he's been doing, that one I will not even put and say, I sympathize with you for your mental health. No, I'm sorry. I'm a tough person. I'm a military bred. I know exactly how life goes. I grew up in a single home too, so I know exactly where right and wrong boundary hits. The child is already grown up. From the age of 21, in the United States system, he's a grown up, which means he can very much be able to afford to get a decent job. From the age of 16, he should have been able to already get a job. He should have been able to know how to retain the job. You should have been able to give him all the necessary mental upbringing and stuff that he needs for him to be able to grow up in the right way. So that is not an excuse. Sure, right now she has pretty much started paying the price for all her sins and iniquities that she has created, all the disaster that she has created from his 0 years old all the way to the 35. Well, now she has pretty much realized and she has come to her senses, and now she's doing what is necessary. Kudos to her for that. And I applaud her for taking the initiative to finally kick him out and make that decision. But with that being said, at the same time, mothers, please do not try to spoil your children, especially the male ones, because they need to learn to be men, not boys. At the age when they are 15 all the way to whatever, 17, I would say, okay, they are still boys. From the age of 18, you are men. It's just reality. You are men. You should already know the difference between right and wrong. You should know how to control your temper. You should know how to respect yourself. You should know how to be educational. Nobody should have to teach you or tell you to go to school or not go to school. You should be smart enough to know the difference and know exactly how to go. If education does not teach you, school did not teach you, the streets will teach you. That is literally how life goes in this world that we live in. So they should basically take it, which means from the age of 25, you shouldn't be, if the child is still in the house, understandable, I'll say, okay, but he should be contributing. He should help himself and help the society. He should be able to know how to be able to save. He should know how to be able to move things the direction that it needs to go for him to grow up. Because if we keep on saying we want to sympathize with mother and that and so on and so forth, well, if the boy dies on the streets, it's no longer the mother's fault because she has done what she needs to do. Father would have done whatever he needed to do if he did things the right way. It takes two to tango, men and women. Women say, yes, we can do all things by ourselves. We are strong. No, you are not. You are a woman for a reason. You are there to pretty much be the nurturer. You are supposed to be there to nurture and mellow down things. The father is the one that will use the iron fist to take care of the situation because he knows exactly what direction he needs to do iron fist. Yes, there are some mothers that are very, very strong that know how to handle male child. Kudos to them because at least those ones, they have the male and female trait in them, so they pretty much know. Maybe because they grew up with boys in the house, So they had to pretty much learn how to handle the thing because maybe mommy and daddy decided to give them that responsibility to be big sisters. So they learned because they've dealt with men before. But that is how life goes. So please, women, do what you need to do. Find male figures, no matter who they are. But the good ones, not the bad ones, because we have some hooligans on the streets. Find the good ones to help you raise your children, the male child. And then fathers, be there in your children's lives. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that is going to help to raise these kids. If things go south in the streets, it's going to be you, the father, that they will blame because that child is bearing your name. They are not bearing the mother's name. They are bearing the father's name. So if your child does good, it will still be the father. And if you notice from our African society, a lot of times, the children do not believe that the father is doing things because the mother is always the one that is there, the one that is always doing everything. But at the end of the day, the father also helps. So you never know. Yes, we don't know what the situation is with this woman and her male figures in the life because it just seems pretty strange that there is no talk of a male figure being in there to help out. Only God knows. Only God and her that knows exactly what happened in there. But let's try to do what is right for our kids. Let's raise them the right way. Raise them in the way that so when they grow up, we know that we've done what is right for them. If you need to plan for their future, plan in secret. Don't give them everything because the very moment you take everything and you give to the children and they see all those things, they're just going to get ruined because they don't know how to be responsible. I learned hard in the streets. So that's the reason why I know exactly that you don't have to expect everything to be given to you. Sure, our mothers expect or children expect that mother will give everything to them. They'll be running down to the mother. Well, the mother should also take the initiative to know that you should agree that when a husband, when the male figure says something, mothers do not go and contradict what the male figure has said. Because when you do that, you create a problem in there too. And fathers, when mother is doing her nurturing, let her nurture to a certain boundary. When you see that she's going overboard with her nurturing and she's becoming blindsided, step in and take over. So that way, it doesn't lead astray. So that way the child doesn't get corrupted. Father and mother, put heads together and train up the child together. Do not go and say because daddy punished the child, then mother will go and stop the punishment. No, because when you do that, you've just pretty much created a conflict there. And that is part of what creates conflict in husband and wife where the husband now disappears. Because if the mother does not let the husband do what he needs to do, and then she now starts claiming that the husband is bad, he's maltreating the child, he's beating the child, this and that, that creates more problems. And we need to learn that we are not from America. We are Africans, for crying out loud. Do not try to raise your children in the American way. That is the reason why our kids are smart, because we train them in the African way. You get what I mean? We train them in the African way, and we need to retain that African. It helps. Please do that, because America will spoil our children for us. Africa will help our children grow. Our children are way smarter when they are in Africa. When they come to America, they become nuisance. We need to stop that. I beg, I plead to you all in the name of God. Do not raise them in the American society way. And pay attention to your children and everything they do, especially when they are getting involved in this, our American people. Because our American children will spoil, the American children will spoil our kids for us. So be very intentional. Very, very intentional. And may God help us as we do so. I rest my case.
All right. Let me just close quick, but I'll ask you the question.
Yeah.
So you can close with it. But yeah, thanks to everyone. Thanks, Rich, man. You made some powerful points.
Yeah. That was hot.
Yeah, that was hot. I kind of a little bit default a little bit with the American versus the African training, because I think there's one thing I learned in this country, and it's kind of strange Coming from Africa where, man goes there when a woman is giving birth, the man is there. In Africa, it don't happen. Our dad are somewhere drinking, and then the baby papa, yeah, I got a boy. So yeah, I think the concept is so you can see the pain the woman go through. That's why you see a lot of American guys, they respect women. I know there are few of them, but I didn't understand that concept. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, what's that? But then I got to gradually understand. Yeah, they want you to see the pain that woman going through giving birth to that child. They put your own stuff on you. You there. You part of the process. All those things help their society. So I think a lot of training our children. Yes, there are things that kind of like spoil them, but when it comes to a lot of yeah, a lot of training as far as this place. I would say, yeah, there are a lot of things that when it comes to respect, when it comes to understanding, there are a lot of attributes that our children exhibit here that really help them. That's something that we did not have that opportunity. When our dad was growing up, beating your mom and doing all those things with witnesses, no consequences. They take your mom and get her right back there because the parent want her to. She can be with her husband. She got bruised. She still her still got black eye. They take her and take her back. All those humiliation. Those are not. I mean, we grew up in it, but that did not make it right though. But so to those following, we are not counselors. We are just giving our opinion. Fee, thanks for the show. Thanks again. You've been doing a wonderful job coming on with these topics and other things. So I really appreciate what you do. But my question to you that you can close on is, and I heard Richmond talk a little bit about it, and you talk about it. And Charlie Kirk's wife, she got roasted. He got roasted for making similar statement that all the children around here were gonna whistle and that. So, you see trouble. So, and that's something you said, and Richmond said a little bit. So, I want you to close on it a little bit, and because she said that in one of her statements, she berated women like, oh, stop being, try to stay home, your mom, raise kids, be your wife, stop being all tough, So basically, she was hitting against feminism, strong women in society with all men. But I heard you say, get you a man, get a male figure in the home. What if the feminists decide to push back and say, well, we understand, but do we have to? Why if they ask that question? Why if they give that pushback? Because you say to go to the church, get a male figure and things. So now basically you're telling them like, okay, you need a man. I don't care who you are. But they are out there though, they got the feminists who out there say, you know what? I'm smart, I'm an educated woman. I can raise my child, and who is to tell me to go and find a man? I mean, what do you tell them? I want you to close, I mean, include it in your closing. Like, if they give you that pushback of, oh, without a man in the home, my child can, and then they got a statistic to prove it. Be like, well, this single mother raised this child, LeBron James' mother was single. And then they show you top people like Oprah and other things to tell you, look, Fee, your assertion of finding a man I mean, it doesn't hold water. What do you say to them? And thanks. That's my last and that's my closing question. And I'm listening.
Thank you so much. These people over here, they're driving me nuts. These two people.
Same way in my house too. I go on the east side. The other groups that were on the west.
They're driving me crazy. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Richmond. Richmond is gone. It's just me and you. But yes. First of all, I want to tell everybody today, maybe I have not said it, I am part of Candace Owen. If you haven't watched her, I'm on the one. Make him a sandwich. If you
That's
don't
my
know what
girl,
I mean,
Kenneth. I watch her too.
that's my girl, Candace Owens. Make him a sandwich. If you know what I know, and you know what I know. It's in her book. You should get her book. But anyways, so my feminists, I am as modern as they come, but I'm also tradition. And I believe I can be modern and be also traditional based on certain things. And that is based on that I am a Christian woman. I fully 100% believe and follow the Christian faith. So I just want to put that out there first before I answer that question into my closing. I don't care what you do. You might be educated, smart, or whatsoever. If you want to sit here and say you don't need a man, you are not smart and educated. I'm just going to put it out there. Because we all know the dynamic of life, it has to have a balance. Let's talk about gravity, right? Whatever goes up, comes down. If you look at a seesaw, there's a fulcrum. Sorry, my voice is going. I'm coming into science a little bit. If you look at a seesaw, there's a fulcrum. The fulcrum is what's sitting in the middle, right? That hold it at constant. If somebody sits, it brings the other side down. If somebody sits on the other side, it brings it up. So one is always, it's never balanced. You need a two to balance it. So what I'm saying is you need a man. And whoever have told you and have wired in your mind that because you went to school and you're educated, you don't need a man, go back to them to rewire your brain because you need a man. Newsflash. If you want to bring me a statistics that says this percentage of single mother raised this and this is the success level, please, I want to see it. We can sit and debate. I would like to see that. I'm willing to sit here and we can debate and I'll bring mine. But just to say it, you need a man. Why? Me and somebody had this exchange at work too. You guys did night shift. You're really getting me into something. It's getting me into something and we're having a lot of conversation. And I'm learning a lot about people, the world in general. But yeah, we had this conversation where we're like, well, if you just, this person believes they're full Christian, they live and breathe everything as a Christian. I'm giving you guys a side note on this because I think it's relevant. But he said that as long as somebody confess genuinely in their heart and said they confess their sin, they're saved, they're okay, they're good to go. I said, but you have to continue to work on it to be who you are in Christ. And they said, no, you already confessed, you're good. And I said, you're one of those people that are bad to society because you're leading people in the wrong path, So that comes back to this. Feminists brought you this thing and sold it to you and drop it down. And I bet you 9 times out of 10, those feminists that are bringing this, they're married, they have a husband that provide, protect for them. But they're here, they're teaching you and I, go to school, it will solve all your problems. No, it doesn't. You can go to school, you acquired a degree, it's just there for you to make money and sustain yourself. It does not teach you about morals, about how to conduct yourself. So I'm going to tell you, no, you need a man. You know why you need a man? Because one, you are not okay to make decision when you are emotionally unstable. You can't. A man cannot make a decision either when he's unstable, but he knows how to compose himself and think it through without crashing on the pressure. Yes, you'll come back and say there are women that can do that. Yeah, we're not talking about the exception to the rules. There's always exception to the rules, but we're talking about the majority of the population. Who can do it, who cannot do it. There's always going to be a 2%, 3% that can do certain things, but there's also that percentage that cannot do it. And that makes you and I need a man, and I'll make him a sandwich. I'll cook. I'm almost done, Riley. She's like, are you done? I'm not done. But just to close this out, when you did not go and have this child by yourself, You did not. You need a man to have a child. I don't care what everybody's saying. I can go and get this. It still involves a man. You still went to the sperm bank. A man decided to donate, right? You're carrying it. That's even dangerous. You're carrying someone's child that you don't know. But anyways, that's just me. Whatever. But you're doing that and you say you don't need a man. You need a man when certain things happen, you're scared, you need survival skills, you need a man. You need a man. Life is not balanced when there's only one person. There's two, then it's balanced. I'm not saying because a man is there, that means the child's going to turn out perfect. That's not true. When we're saying you need a man, you need a man that understands his role. You don't just pick any wulong off the street and say, hey, he's going to help me raise my kids. No, your morals need to be right, and you need to have someone who morals align with your morals. Then you're able to properly raise another individual for society. I come back to this. A lot of women are saying the men are not this, the men are not that. Who's raising them? We come back to it. You're complaining. These days, there are not no good men, X, Y, and Z. But when we look back, the men that our mom then stuck in there to raise them, they turn out in a way that they can reason. They're okay and we can get married to them and still figure out a way to work things out. We're fine. But we're looking at the ones that we're raising from the 2000 and up, where the divorce rate is high and moms is taking over. Society tells you I'm going to do this and do that and you're okay, and they tell you I can do it all by myself, but next day you see them at the social welfare looking for help. You can't do it on your own because you need another person help to make it through, and you're still surviving off of someone, so you're not independently doing it. So you do need help. Stop this narrative that you don't need a man. You need a man, but if you say you don't need a man that is X, Y, and Z, that do this and that, focus and is not a leader, that makes sense. But just overall generalizing and saying you don't need a man is a problem. You need to have a mental evaluation. I am saying it. I'm not even going to hold my tongue. If anybody come under this post or DM me telling me, well, you're wrong, I will tell you the same thing. So don't waste your time. You're not going to change my mind. Like, what's his name? Dennis is. Dennis, you're wasting your mind because Felicia mind is already. I'm telling you on this one, you can't change my mind. I need a man. If you don't need it, well, fine, good for you. But don't bring another person into this society that's going to cause problem for us, because there are people bringing people up and they're just creating problem for the rest of us. You need a man. If the man is not worth being in a relationship, he doesn't. But you need to give him the right to be a father. You need to give him the right to be a father, to play his role. And if he chooses not to, find you someone in the community to help you raise this man. Guide him and be a mentorship. I rest my case on that piece. I wanted to take long on that piece of it. With that being said, did you want to add something, Richmond? You're looking at me. Did I say something wrong?
No, no, no. You're perfectly fine. Trust me.
I need all
Fine.
the
You didn't
women
say
out
nothing
here.
wrong.
Yeah, I need all the women out here to open their mind. But as I'm watching, a lot of women are becoming. You okay, Riley? Oh, they need
No,
me
I
now.
think you got straight to the point, which is man and woman need to raise the children together. So you've pretty much stated my case and you've hammered my point. So I'm happy about that.
Right. So, Reva Sespero, I hope that answered your question. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for coming on and, sharing this. I think I have a feeling we should be doing more of these videos. I'll take getting topics from there because there's a lot of them out here that are just going on and on. But I want to say thank you, Richmond. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, River Sespero. And thank you to Jimmy for a wonderful show. I know we went way over time, but it was worth it.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean the next session. I'm finished with you because you did this whole. I'm representing the man. Anyway, we closing, but since you want a man, I mean since you need a man in the home,
Yes,
so I was gonna, but it'll be a whole another topic. I want to
we
bring.
can talk about that
So
next week.
yeah, I want to bring co-parent. I know we talk about co-parenting, so you wouldn't mind. So do you think co-parenting will make a difference? Because I mean,
Yes,
you said there
Absolutely.
should be a man. But I mean,
Absolutely.
at all costs. So even with co-parenting, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay, okay,
yes.
okay. I just
We
want to
can
get that
talk
across.
about that on Saturday. We can
Okay,
talk about it on Saturday. But
okay.
yeah, definitely you need some type of male figure. And I'm not talking about those one that are just out here doing whatsoever. If you call yourself smart, you can do this on your own, da 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 da. Then you understand where I'm coming from. You need a well balanced mind, men who can raise a human being for another woman that will not be crying out here and say there's no good man. Well, if we are the women raising the men and we're having these news flash, we need to change it around. We need to change it around because we're the one creating these millennium men, and we're complaining they don't want to work. Da, 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 da. Well, you raising them. They
Yeah,
used to mommy doing it all, so they're learning that a woman should do it all. What do you think? You need a
yeah,
man.
that's true.
And
That's
like
true.
Candace Owens said, make him a sandwich, make him happy. What's wrong with you?
Man, that Kenneth Wade, man. I mean, sorry, I'm not a racist by any stretch of imagination. But she got a British man, man. That's more fun. She
Don't fight
can't,
for
she
my
can't.
girl.
Yeah, she. I mean, she left us and went and got a white dude, man. Like, I mean, that can't wait. I ain't got nothing against her.
Oh,
She's
you
smart.
vexed? You vexed
I'm
because she got
vexed. I'm vexed. She got a. I mean, look at Serena Williams. The same thing too. I mean, what's up with these? What's up with these black chick getting these smart? I mean, these rich, these wealthy one going for. I mean, they leaving the brothers now. Or what?
Oh, we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that one.
Okay, all right, Fee.
Even though for me, like I made it clear, by black men, always, always,
No,
always, always. No way. We're not going any other route.
I
Black
know.
men only. I'm not racist, but hey.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all have a blessed week and congratulations, Anima. I got a close friend with my
You,
Anima song.
hey, you man, yeah, man. Come, let me go. The way I face, oh,
I'm gonna grab my song. Yo, wait.
I know, man. Anyway, congratulations, yeah.
Let's
Nima,
play us on the money and song, man. Y'all wait before y'all go.
the guys are gonna song Facebook. I like it. They call it. I don't know. They can. That's some kind of trendy song. Some kind of work. It is a nice song. Okay, me. See.
My husband was so mad. He said, get out of my face.
uh,
Hey,
uh,
Nima.
yeah, okay, congratulations. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Enjoy. Go make go
Nima,
go make
yes,
have it.
yeah.
Go make have it GB tomorrow. Tomorrow. Mm.
All right, guys. You have a
All
great night. I just want to annoy some people on here.
right. Okay, Fee. All
All
right.
right. Thank you so much. I'll be blessed. We'll be here
Okay.
again tomorrow by His grace. Next week, I
Okay.
mean. All
Okay. You
right.
too. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.